Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. I hope everyone is having a fantastic day. Welcome to this live stream where we want to address critics and also uh, terrorists and other things in the most respectful way. David, my old friend, how are you doing?
Is that what the dude sounds like, or is that you?
What
Is that
dude are you talking? I don't know what you're doing. What dude you're talking about? That's me. Yeah.
I have no idea what to do. I assume I've seen him at some point.
Yeah. I would advise David. I see you're
You're
laughing.
you're impersonating one of those guys who wears a mask because I'm guessing you don't want jihadis to see his face or something.
But this
One of
is a
those
very
guys
serious,
who's messing with us or something. Is that what he
this is a
sounds like?
very serious live stream, David, and I see you're laughing, and it's very disrespectful to laugh when we're
You're
talking about
disrespectful.
such serious things. So I would advise you to be very, very, very serious and respectful, because one thing that we want to do, especially when we talk about things like terrorism and all that, we don't want to offend those people who rape and murder people.
Yeah,
Because
definitely not.
basically,
I apologize.
because when once we make jokes about them, then how are we different from the rapists and murderers? So
That's a good point. Good
that's
point. I
that is
apologize. You're right. I'm wrong. I take back everything I've ever said about that child molesting, murdering rapist Muhammad.
Thank you.
Good.
So, yeah, today we want to talk about in Nigeria, a terrorist movement. I'm sorry, freedom fighters kidnapped a bunch of women and children in their quest to do whatever they want to do. Do you know about this, David? Have you looked into it?
I saw something. Is it a terrorist group, or is it because you got a couple of different groups? You have the actual like Islamic State like terrorist groups, and they're all in competition. So you got like Boko Haram and so on, but you have a bunch of like related groups, and there are lots of they're in competition because they're competing for attention because they want the younger people to be attracted to them. Like you're, a 15-year-old, you want to go wage jihad, you want to be the most popular group to join. But they also have some other groups like, the Fulani herdsmen and so on. And so that's a situation where they want to take over like people's lands and they target Christians. But then you just have like just straight up criminal organizations. Like they don't really care. They don't really care about Islam or Christianity. They would probably tend to target Christians more because there'd be less concern of retaliation. But yeah, so I saw something circulating about a bunch of girls getting kidnapped, and it was similar to the Chibok girls from like a decade ago, but I didn't see who was responsible.
Yeah, so apparently, according to the news, it is indeed the Islamic terrorist group Boko Haram that attacked civilians and attacked a school and then began kidnapping children. And it is reported that they kidnapped around 300 children and also hundreds of women in order to use them to press their demands and their goals and all of that. And of course, there's nothing wrong with that, because recently we have learned that, for example, Hamas employed similar tactics. They went into the civilian population, massacred a bunch of people, and also raped and kidnapped a bunch of people. But that is all excusable because they're doing that as within the frame of fighting for freedom and fighting oppression and all of that. And then, of course, the things that you condemn become suddenly okay.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting? See, there won't be much retaliation against these guys because they have kind of free reign in Nigeria. But imagine where you had a strong government that wanted to do something about these terrorists, and they said, we're going to go get these guys. And like the entire world starts screaming, no, ceasefire, 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 man. They took all these girls and they're over there in the woods raping them. But ceasefire, ceasefire. Sound like a bunch of idiots.
Indeed, they do. So let us look into. I feel like the dumbest person in the world right now with these things on. Can you imagine if I appeared like this on every video, like this? I'm like, "Hello, friends."
By the way, the dudes who roll like that, like I get why some of the women do that.
Yeah,
They get a completely different kind of attention from the keyboard jihadis than we get. They get attacked in all the same ways as us, except for several additional ways. I get the women doing it, but like the guys who are like going around with their masks and their videos, is that I don't know. Are they trying to cover up their faces, or is that like are they like really still into COVID mode or something?
no, they're trying to actually kind of reduce the possibility of being noticed by people. So they are kind of cowardly in a kind of fearful and cowardly way, trying to hide behind something as thin as this. Like, look, I look like a rapist right now with my mustache, and even I'm not hiding it. Look, I can openly put it out here. So
what happened to your beard, dude? Part of being a man. What's wrong with you, man?
Anyway,
look like you're about to make me a pizza or something.
What a pizza,
my name is Scungili.
Bellissimo, fantastico. Yeah. A pizza margherita. Welcome to not Mexico. Somebody said Mexico in the chat, and now my mind went from Italy to Mexico. What's happening here? Anyway, so what happened is that a bunch of amazing freedom fighters apparently committed a terrorist attack. And no, we are not going to be respectful, because we are not stupid, and we're not idiots. We are going to call it out and treat it the way it deserves to be treated, just the way we treat terrorism and terrorist sympathizers the way they deserve to be treated, with nothing but fury and violence and justice. That's what we do, with no consideration and no sympathy for the feelings of those who defend them or participate in their terrorist attacks, or who are on the other side and to say, well, but killing civilians and kidnapping them is okay because of this and this injustice. No, go screw yourself. All right, so let's look at a few stories.
If the Ottomans lost World War I because they sided with the Germans, who always lose world wars, then when the land gets divided up later and jihadis have been conspiring with Hitler to exterminate Jews, and Great Britain decides, oh, then we'll give a little tiny piece of this land to Jews just so they're not under the control of the guys who are plotting with Hitler to exterminate them, then if that happens to you, you're entirely justified going around and raping and killing as many Jewish girls as you could find.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, if I actually heard what the dude sounds like, I can imitate him.
Oh, you want to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm assuming I've seen his face before, so I'm assuming I've heard him. It's just probably years ago, and I don't remember.
Well, the guy is currently really like milking drama, and
he's drinking drama.
And trying to kind of use this whole thing for traction and views and all of that, and it's okay, he can do that. I don't blame him for that. So, but he's just doing it in a very stupid and ugly way. But hey, whatever. Here.
Well, I'll say this: if people didn't mess around with D. Wood and the Apostate Prophet, they wouldn't have anything to regret for the rest of their lives. So there's that.
Alhamdulillah. So maybe we should just look at that. How about that? Warning, this video includes topics with upsetting and potentially disturbing themes.
Be sure to wear your mask.
So the video is called The Dark Side of Anti-Islam YouTube.
Is that us?
Yeah.
Wait, is that both of us or just you?
This one is me, but it also talks about you.
Oh, okay.
And the thumbnail says, I think Israel should be much harsher, quoting me.
You did say crap like that.
I did say that, yeah. I did say that, and I still agree with it. I think Israel should be much harsher. And he also made a 2-hour live stream with this other guy.
Hey, remember you started saying that to that waitress in that restaurant?
Yeah.
And then you found out she's like, and I go to the protest every week to protest it. And I was like, See, that's the thing. I don't like saying anything to anyone who's around my food because I don't know. I don't want to annoy them. So they go spit in my food or something. Right? So,
Yeah.
and you're like, you're wrong about everything. Let me show you.
Yeah. Yeah. I was trying to be very confrontational and not hostile and just be like, okay, yeah, whatever you say. But yes.
This video includes topics with upsetting and potentially disturbing themes. While I do my best to choose my words carefully, viewer discretion is advised.
He actually copied words that you hear directly from Hulu. This is what I hear on Hulu. When you turn on Hulu and you turn on a regular comedy show that includes just a few like insults, some foul language, it's like viewer discretion advised. That's exactly the words. He actually took those words.
Viewer discretion advised. I say the word doo-doo in here.
What are you laughing at? I don't even know this dude. He might be the nicest guy in the world, and he might just be exposing you because you're always mean to everybody.
Well, listen. So this guy decided to, for a year now, or maybe more, talk about me randomly here and there, and just try to attack me and ask people what they think of me.
Oh, wait! It's been going on.
I mean, he's been doing it on a smaller scale, but
don't you like promote this guy's channel or something here?
Yes, that's what I wanted to talk about. Here's my YouTube channel. Look, here's my YouTube channel. You can see here my YouTube channel is right here. Now here's my featured channels list. Look, here's Rebecca, here's you, here's Nuria Khan, Sal, ex-Muslims. For some reason, there's Farid here, and then
oh no, that makes perfect sense. We should promote all these guys. Matter of fact, that's an awesome idea. I'm going to make my entire featured channels all the Dawa channels. That'd be awesome.
And here's Apostate Aladdin. Look at that. Look at that. I've had him on here on my featured channels list for a while.
Wait, does he pronounce it Aladdin?
I don't know. I don't know.
Aladdin.
Aladdin.
That's a guy from that movie, right? The Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah.
I never saw. Aladdin. I saw some clips of it.
It's not a very good movie, but it's good in terms of some funny stuff.
Apostate Aladdin sounds cooler though.
I have him on my featured channels list, and I have others too. And the reason for that is I don't like the way he talks about things. I think it's kind of dorky and corny and all of that. But I think ex-Muslims, people who leave Islam and who openly choose to talk about it, I want to promote them, even if I don't like their stuff.
That is correct.
Even if I don't really agree with them, because I just feel like, okay, they're doing things differently. They don't like my stuff. They don't like the way I do things. But okay, I have a platform, and I will be happy to promote these other guys who do things differently. But he chooses, while I'm doing this, to attack me, because apparently he doesn't like the fact that lots of ex-Muslims watch my stuff and not his stuff.
Yeah, isn't that weird? That is still confusing. But yeah, I think like you, because I get asked, hey, David, you just posted that from this ex-Muslim, but he's an atheist. Why are you doing that? It's like, hey, these guys are under a death sentence for the same ideology that I'm under a death sentence from. And it's really important for the world and for the future for ex-Muslims to have a group where they're not just like isolated. It's very easy to threaten and intimidate a person who's like off on his own. If you have a big community that can have your back, so there needs to be a big, strong community made up of ex-Muslims who are under a death sentence so they can support and defend each other. And so happy to support any of those in the community, even if they're brutally attacking my pal, the Apostate Prophet.
Yeah, inshallah.
With that said, I would take him off there.
I'm actually not going to take him off this list. I'll just keep him there.
I know, because that's you.
Because although he's being a complete idiot, it's fine with me still. Oh, Infidel Noodle is here. What's up, Infidel Noodle? Hey, it's the real Infidel Noodle. Hello, friends.
You gonna play this guy's voice for me again?
Yes, I will.
All I heard was
this video includes topics with upsetting and potentially disturbing themes here. So you have been warned, ladies and gentlemen.
I was on Infidel Noodle's channel yesterday when we talked about Israel and also briefly about this kind of stuff. It was very interesting. So definitely worth watching. And she is very good as an interviewer and asked me some critical questions. So that was very, very nice. Always nice to see you here, Infidel Noodle, and I will have you soon as a guest here as well. Will be
Hey.
fantastic.
Hey, serious.
Yes,
Like,
that's me.
why are you way more popular? The only explanation I've seen that kind of makes sense is like a lot of the ex-Muslims went in the more like the new atheist direction, and you didn't. You were kind of like, look, I got a problem with this ideology that wants to kill me, and I don't really have a problem with anyone else. What was that it, or is there something else? Because I'm trying to figure out what else it would be.
It's hard for me to sit here and say that, but I think the reason was that I was just very, very blunt in what in telling people my opinion, and
In your videos,
make yeah, in
you made
making
you made a
videos,
lot of videos that were brutal.
and I would constantly make short videos, 10-minute videos, where I would go through every aspect of Islam, and I would be very, very honest about it. And I also made clear from the beginning to focus my channel on Islam and not go into the whole, oh, this religion is also bad, and by the way, let me balance this by saying all religions are wrong and things like that, because it's ridiculous. And I guess that didn't push people away. I don't know what it is. I don't know.
Hey, you did make a lot of videos back in the day, man.
I did.
Hey, you should start making a bunch more videos and shoot up past 1 million, and then
I
watch
should.
watch Apostate Aladdin flip out when you got 1 million subs. Hey, we should do that. We should just make a ton of videos and just shoot over 1 million subscribers, and then listen to everyone cry.
Yeah. That would be funny. John Buckley said, "AP, what's with the porn stash?" I'm trying myself in a new industry right now because it doesn't pay much to be an Islamophobe.
Yeah, my name is Giuseppe. Here to fix the cable.
All right, let's play this guy's voice.
While I do my best to choose my words carefully, viewer discretion is advised.
Be sure to get your 9th COVID shot.
Bombs kill people.
Oh,
Did you know
I
that?
do. Wait, whoa. Hey, there's me. Did you say bombs kill people? Classic D Wood. Did he say bombs kill people? Oh man.
The video is kind of quiet. It's not my fault. I don't know what to do about it. The guy's video is quiet. I had no idea. So what do you guys think about the conflict? And I say, what I always say. I say, well, I think Israel should be much harsher. What do I think of the Israeli?
The English-speaking world.
Okay,
It's
no,
symptom 23.
that was just an
Palestine.
introduction. But
Given how I chose to begin this video, I know it's easy to presume that this is a video about Israel and Palestine, but it isn't. The problem I want to talk about today predates October 7th of 2023. This problem is difficult to define or pin down, but I'll give it my best shot. Its symptoms are evident in the conduct of one of the most popular ex-Muslim YouTubers.
you know what's one of the main reasons why I just said I wouldn't. I don't really know, but obviously right now this just comes to my mind. You asked me why I got so popular and these people did not. One of the main reasons is probably that I don't talk like this and don't start my videos like this. I'm not trying to write, not trying to make it sound like an academic paper written by somebody who is trying to get into college.
This is YouTube.
I would just openly and directly say things in a human way. That's probably so Apostate Aladdin, if you're wondering why the imbalance here, maybe try to appeal to people and don't try to sound like a complete nerd.
Hey,
There's nothing wrong with it, but just be more direct, maybe. I don't know.
Hey, Apostate Aladdin. Yeah, look, notice we're trying to help you here. People click on a video, like let's suppose, so your title here, The Dark Side of Anti-Islam YouTube. That's not a bad title. But people click on it and it's like,
Oh, let me warn you for the first 10 minutes of the video that you might hear something that may be offensive to you in here.
and then you start off at the apostate prophet. It's not about. People decide in the first few, after clicking, people decide in about the first 10 seconds whether they're going to continue watching. And all that you've got in that first 10 seconds is
Your feelings may be hurt if you're a pathetic, weak-willed, sniveling crybaby.
and it's like, dude, who's going to continue watching that? So notice we're trying to help you here. You start out with a hook. In other words, before that. So before that, put before that little disclaimer, put something that shows something is good that's going to happen, right? And then you put your disclaimer. So like your first 10 seconds, have a hook in there, have a hook. Hey, like some action-packed thing that you say. If you have anything like that in your 28-minute video, put that at the beginning, then your disclaimer, then go into the video, and it might help your watch time.
Also, very important, please take off that stupid mask. Right?
Yeah,
take that stupid mask off. What?
See again, when it's women doing it, I totally get it. There are people who will stalk them and post their pictures online and then like Photoshop their pictures and porn images and stuff like that. I 100% get it. If you're a man and you're not even terribly popular, who's going to kill you? Just like seriously. If I were a jihadi and I decide I'm going to kill somebody, it's not going to be who am I going to kill? Apostate Aladdin.
That's what I mean. Like there are others who put on masks, like Infidel Noodle puts on masks, and she's
makes complete sense.
I completely understand that she works in serious places often, and she is also a woman, and she has been targeted even in this state with a mask on in the most brutal and sexually messed up ways by Islamists on the internet. Yeah, maybe she should be doing that. But you, and then you talk about me.
Yeah, and there are even Christians who do it, like too many Marys. She's a Christian and she's not even an ex-Muslim, but she'll cover her face up just because, again, women will get harassed in ways that we don't. But my goodness, dude, who do you think's going to come after you? Seriously, like if you're not the person who's annoying them most because you're bending over backwards not to hurt their feelings, how much of a death sentence do you seriously think you're under? Take your mask off, man up. And I just want to say, because we're trying to figure out like why some people are less popular. If I were to watch this dude talking trash about you when you're way more likely to be brutally murdered in the name of Allah, I'd be like, okay, come on, you got a mask on, dude? Seriously?
Infidel Noodle says, I just realized he almost used the exact same title as The Dark Side of Online Dawah.
So he's a copycat too?
Wait, seriously?
He's a copycat? Oh my goodness.
Wow. That is funny. It's quite funny. Quite funny. Quite interesting. Let me see.
It looks like Groucho Marx under there, though.
Yeah, that's funny.
Assume that this is a video about Israel and Palestine, but it isn't. The problem I want to talk about today predates October 7th of 2023. This problem is difficult to find or pin down, but I'll give it my best shot. Its symptoms are evident in the conduct of one of the most popular ex-Muslim YouTubers in the...
I mean, when you talk like that, its symptoms are evident. Dude.
Its symptoms are evident.
Its symptoms are evident. And here's the thing, like I'm not trying to be a bully against some nerd here, right? It's okay if you talk like that, but to make videos that way. Now, I never liked it when people bullied like others who act in nerdy ways. But when you sit here and try to make videos and then you attack somebody else for their audience, and then this is how you present yourself. I mean, seriously, man, I didn't even want to do this because if I respond to this guy, I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to say what I think, and it's not going to be pretty.
Oh, no, but you can't say what you think, AP. You have to couch it in multiple warnings and then like really soften the blow.
He's going to cry now when he's watching this. And David is the one who basically just pushed me into talking about this guy.
Yeah, we're here to talk about Nigeria. I just asked a simple question. You go on this like 7-hour tirade against this dude. Why are you obsessed with him, man? Why are you obsessed with this guy?
This is all David's fault. See?
Sorry about that. I apologize again. He
is doing this anyway.
I apologize for any feelings that were hurt in the first part of this video. Apologize. I take it all back. I did not mean to hurt anyone's feelings because, as everyone knows, that's the worst thing anyone can do in any video ever.
He's the most prominent figure with the largest reach, and therefore the largest potential to cause harm. So it feels to me more urgent to voice my displeasure about him.
And I'll get the most support from Muslims if I go after him.
Oh, one of the big things is that I collaborate with you.
First found his channel, I had already lost almost all of my faith. It had been years of doubt and self-doubt up until I decided to get to the bottom of things and determine once and for all.
Wait, is this guy... Why did he say doubt?
Did he say doubt?
Pop up on YouTube if you look up controversial topics in Islam.
Whoa, it's nice. 111 million views. I'm not even aware of that. That's quite impressive. Interesting.
That is impressive.
To hear anyone criticize Islam.
Imagine if you still made videos. I mean, You haven't
Yeah.
made a video in like 10 years. Imagine if you'd still been cranking out videos the entire time.
This guy.
Some of the topics he mentioned were familiar to me, and the information presented matched what I already found. So I quickly dismissed my knee-jerk suspicion that he's making it up to taint Islam. But there was something about his delivery that made me uneasy. He had a
You're
chrome-
complaining about his delivery? Hey,
Yes,
dude, serious. That's what people spent years complaining about me for, my delivery, because I'm being like sarcastic and stuff like this, and you're not supposed to do that. Guess what? That's what people actually listen to. So if you're trying to expose certain things about Muhammad and the Quran, and you want people to actually pay attention on YouTube, this is how you do it, right? So what he's saying is, guys, you should not be doing what actually works on YouTube to expose Muhammad. No, use this completely defective methodology that no one will ever listen to, so that no one ever learns anything about Islam, and the Dawa guys completely dominate YouTube. Brilliant strategy, Apostate Aladdin. Man, it's good thing you came in here to correct us and tell us how it's done. Let's go back, AP. Let's delete our channels and come out and be complete nerds, boring nerds when we describe everything.
David, please do not be sarcastic. This is a very serious topic about which we must be very respectful.
This is the third time I'm apologizing. I take it all back, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone else is right. I'm wrong.
I don't even want to go through the video right now because
No,
we
we
have
don't
a
need
different
to.
topic
We're talking about Nigeria, man.
I know. I just want to address one thing here in this video. Because I didn't watch the live stream that they made about me. I didn't really bother. Just watched a few minutes of it. Then I watched this video, however, and I thought, man, this is incredibly stupid. And there is especially one point where this stupidity reaches its climax, and that is here.
Stupid.
No, not here.
His stupidity really just the climax.
Oh, wait, where is that? Where's that? There's a part where he talks about
You don't even know where the video.
Where he talks about a tweet that I made about the guy who cooked himself. Oh no, he's going to complain that I said cooked himself about somebody.
He's going to complain.
himself.
Why?
It's very disrespectful.
Yeah, that's a situation where, you know, I understand people having different perspectives and so on, but it sucks because, you know, I do think that guy probably had something wrong mental health wise, but you cannot let that become something cool to do. You can't. If we learned anything from the film Heathers, you can't let it become a cool thing. Can't let suicide become a cool thing to do. And so you have to kind of treat it with contempt and not glorify it.
Yeah, here. Look at this.
I'll find a lot more alarming rhetoric. Here's one last tweet that I think is worth mentioning. It's about a man called Aaron Bushnell who set himself on fire.
Not a hero?
His actions. I'm not going to get into who he is or why he did what he did. For the purposes of this video, it's frankly irrelevant. I just want to highlight how AP said that this man hated whiteness and hated tradition. Apostate Prophet is a man of Turkish origin. How is whiteness and tradition relevant to him or the point he's trying to make? Who is he really addressing here? Can you think of a demographic that clutches their pearls at the narrative that whiteness and tradition are under attack? Can you hypothesize who he could possibly be godlessly here? I'll give you a hint. They tend to donate generously in church and to other causes they perceive to be holy. Like, for example, Christianity.
AP's trying to get donations.
Now, there is so much stupidity in here. There are just a few points to go into. One is that this guy actually thinks, or
no wonder no one watches this guy. My goodness.
Or makes it look like the average Christian that watches my channel, or let's just say the average Christian that talks about these things, is a white nationalist.
They're all white nationalists. That's what Christians are. I don't want to offend you, jihadis, but you Christians are all white nationalists who are being manipulated by AP to get donations from you.
And I don't understand this guy. This guy apparently lives in America, doesn't he? Like, how does he have such a cartoon perspective of American society, of Christian society? It doesn't make sense. This is like, this is not the demographic. This is not the population in real life. Apostate Aladdin.
Nationalist.
These people are.
He's trying to get the MAGA base to support him. AP's trying to get attention from Donald Trump.
And he's then also insinuating that I'm basically just making tweets to get donations from these white nationalists that are everywhere here and who are also religious and who, go and pray in church and then go out and raise their Nazi flags and all that. But the other thing is, it is incredibly stupid because he is reading into this tweet and making it look like something else because he simply doesn't understand
that
a
David Wood
very, very simple tweet. Now,
Hey, he said David Wood.
now look,
I'm
he cut
famous
this
now.
part and put this on here. And he briefly put this on here. Let me pull up the whole tweet. And David, how about I will read this tweet to you,
Okay.
and I will ask you if you understand why I made this tweet and what I'm trying to say in this tweet. This idiot Aaron Bushnell, who burned himself to death,
Pretty rude.
justified the Nova Music Festival massacre.
Hey, at least you didn't say cooked himself, though. All right, go ahead.
Hated whiteness, hated tradition, and supported anarchy. Yet he is praised by progressives,
Oh,
neo-Nazis, Islamists, bunch of
oh,
opportunistic leeches with no integrity.
dude.
You got it immediately, right? You know
Dude,
exactly what this is about.
instantly. See, I didn't even know the tweet he was responding to. But yeah, once you actually see it in context, dude, no, just lost any bit of respect for him. Any bit. Like
Yeah.
that was deliberately massacring your tweet. You're pointing out the absurdity that he's being praised by neo-Nazis when this guy hated whiteness and the other groups as well, right? So
Islamists, hated
all these,
tradition,
in other words,
progressives.
all the groups who are praising him would hate him if he weren't burning himself over this stuff. Oh my goodness. So that was the point you were making. He completely leaves off the second part of it and then blast you for something that was up. Oh my goodness, dude. Absolute.
I mean, it's
terrible,
so
terrible,
obvious.
Terrible person. Terrible
I
person.
even made it obvious by putting by listing these this way. You know, justified the Nova Music Festival massacre, shouldn't be okay with progressives. Hated whiteness, shouldn't be okay with neo-Nazis. Hated tradition and supported anarchy, shouldn't be okay with Islamists. Yet these people praise this guy as a hero because they are opportunistic leeches with no integrity.
Wow.
It's so obvious. You got it
awful.
Immediately as I was reading it. Now, this guy either took this out of context deliberately, or he genuinely doesn't understand.
He could be too stupid to understand a tweet. That is a possibility.
And that is what we're dealing with.
Yeah. Wow.
And then I'm supposed to be respectful.
Yep. No need for respect. I untake back everything I said about him earlier that I took back.
Or he's just so blinded by his jealousy and hate that he doesn't even bother trying to interpret things correctly and just goes with his ridiculous misinterpretation of this thing.
And yeah, so he turns this. I mean, you're making fun of neo-Nazis for supporting this guy who hated whiteness, and he turns it into you trying to win white nationalists to your side and so on. Absolutely horrendous.
That's the other thing. Like, this is I'm literally attacking neo-Nazis here. And he makes it
look, he cut that off. Why? Because he supports neo-Nazis and is trying to win their favor. By the way, even if you hadn't said the rest of that and he just focused on this and he tries to psychoanalyze you,
he's trying to get the MAGA supporters to rally around him and send him
donations. Dude, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to him. One of the reasons people watch us is because we just say whatever we think. We tend to not care what people think. And lots of people actually like that in an era where people are acting like this dude, right?
Oh, let me be as careful as possible so as not to offend everyone.
We're like, some people need to be offended from all the stupid stuff they say and do. And so, but notice, so he thinks that,
because I'm being extremely careful and not offending everyone, and I'm attacking the apostate prophet, then everyone should be watching me.
When no, people don't trust you when they see you trying to side with the people that AP is attacking, and you siding with them because you're worried about their feelings. Who is going to trust you? Muslims aren't going to trust you because you're an ex-Muslim. No one who's opposed to jihad is going to trust you because you're bending over backwards to not hurt the feelings of Hamas. And then you wonder, why are people watching AP? Because he just says it. He just says it, and he's not doing what you do. and then you get mad about it and you have to.
Well, he's only saying it because he's trying to win Trump supporters over to him to get donations. My goodness, that's called projection, dude.
So people were saying Apostate Aladdin is in the chat. I didn't see it until this comment here. He is actually
Hey, bring
in
him
the
into
chat,
this. Hey, bring him in there. Hey, invite him in here.
and I checked. It's actually him. But here's the thing, David. Now, I'm really trying not to be incredibly insulting here, but so David just made a sarcastic remark, said, "Oh, look, he cut this out, therefore he supports Nazis." That was obviously a joke. It was obviously mockery. Apostate Aladdin responded to that by leaving a chat in the comments and by leaving a comment here and saying, "LMAO, I support neo-Nazis."
What a dope.
Oh, I take everything they're saying completely seriously when they're making fun of me.
Oh man, no. Oh my good dude. Apostate Aladdin, give up on YouTube, dude. You have every instinct you have about sharing information with anyone in the world is completely wrong. I mean, we actually started off by trying to help you here, and this one tweet, it's like now I view it as hopeless. Like, dude, if you you cannot tell when someone's just making fun of you over something. Oh boy.
Well. I mean, it could be that he just has I don't know. He just doesn't understand sarcasm in general.
And if you don't like us making fun of you, maybe you shouldn't have launched this attack on the apostate prophet. And if you got a problem with that, you can cry me a river.
Yeah. I mean, this is any response that I give right now is justified because you provoked it
And lied about you.
and I retaliate and try to end this. Therefore, I can be as violent as possible. In fact, I should be harsher.
Yeah, you should make like 20 videos just blasting him for.
Anyway, this is very stupid.
I was about to call him the Mike Winger of the ex-Muslim community, but I actually like Mike Winger, and I'm just pretending. Whereas this guy, oh my goodness, oh boy.
Let him in. I don't know if he asks to be put on the screen.
Yeah, put him on here. Let's have a little chat. We'll help you out.
Oh my gosh, this is hard to deal with. He says you're just calling everything a joke to get a get out of jail card. Hey, it is a joke. It is very obviously a joke, and 99 out of 100 people understand that it is a joke. You don't understand that it's a joke. That's the problem. Please grow up. Try to understand regular conversations. Try to understand regular messages. Try to understand this simple tweet that you were reading, which you represented there. After which, I'm really asking you, well, how do you expect your others to be respectful and nice and charitable when you obviously misrepresent something as simple as this
dude is a narcissist, man.
To attack me.
I can spot a narcissist at 1,000 miles away. Look at what he just did. He takes a tweet where you are clearly making a point and making fun of neo-Nazis for being stupid. He cuts that part out, puts the first part, and then convinces his stupid, idiotic viewers that, oh, AP is just trying to win the support of white nationalists. And he's dead serious when he says that. I make fun of him, say, oh, you're going after neo-Nazis. Oh, why are you saying this about me? Oh, I'm going to cry about it. So notice what it is. It's completely acceptable for him to edit out the relevant portion to deliberately deceive his followers and portray you as some guy who's trying to win the support of white nationalists. And yet we have to tiptoe around it. Oh my goodness. What a joke, man. What a joke.
Very, very,
what
very,
a
very
joke.
Dumb. Very, very dumb.
Boy.
So, if in case you missed it, until so far, I have done nothing except be okay with you and even respond to you when you ask me something, and not mock you or attack you when people ask me about you, and even put you on my featured channels list where you have been for quite a while.
Nothing but help. Nothing but help.
So I've done nothing but help you here. Like, I help Fareed, I help you. I help other people. And this is how you respond to it. This is just it's stupid. I will still not take you off of here because I think even people like you, if they are ex-Muslims, should have some support to have more of an audience. But if you act like this, then you shouldn't be surprised that people are not watching your stuff.
Boy.
Okay.
Good luck.
All
Good
right.
luck. Good luck, Apostate Aladdin.
Good luck indeed. Good luck indeed. Anyway, the story is a bunch of freedom fighters in Nigeria peacefully.
I detect sarcasm in your voice. That's wrong and immoral. You're just trying to win the support of white supremacists. Sorry, I can't resist.
OMG, LMAO, did he just call Boko Haram freedom fighters while attacking Hamas for the things that they do? This is unbelievable.
I
I'm
can't
going to
believe
make
it.
another response
AP
video.
calls them freedom fighters.
Oh no, how could this be?
AP
I don't
supports
understand.
terrorism.
I cannot believe what I am hearing right now. I will make a response video to this, and it will be very harsh, please. But it will be very, very harsh. It will be offensive, and if you cannot handle offensive things, please click away now. Viewer discretion advised. Anyway, let's look at the story, David.
The hunt for nearly 300 school children abducted by gunmen goes on, but the governor of Kaduna State has told the BBC that at least 28 of those children have escaped their captors. The Nigerian army is leading the search for the children who were abducted from the northwest town of Kuriga in Kaduna State. Reports say students between the ages of 8 and 15 were taken, along with the...
Why does this presenter sound so boring? What is...
Maybe she went to the Apostate Aladdin School of Journalism.
Maybe.
Named on Ansaru, a breakaway faction of the militant Islamist group Boko Haram. Victims of kidnappings usually pay a ransom to secure their freedom. A controversial law, though, passed in 2022 made it a crime to make ransom payments with a potential jail sentence of at least 15 years. For many...
So, okay, what they do it for
wait, what did they say? They made it illegal to pay ransoms?
That's what it looks like. That's what she said, I think.
Wow.
It is controversial.
Yeah, that's always a tough situation because you understand that by paying ransom, you're encouraging more kidnappings, but you want your relative back. And so you want to pay the ransom, but gosh, that's rough. It's a rough call to make to say no ransom payments.
It's a crime to make ransom payments with a potential jail sentence of at least 15 years. For many victims,
15 years to make the ransom payment.
Our West Africa correspondent Mayeni Jones updated me on this story from Maiduguri.
Yeah, the military is currently running a rescue operation in Kaduna State, but also in the neighboring states of Katsina and Zamfara, which are all kidnapping hotspots here in northern Nigeria.
Okay, so news of people kidnapped. I don't want to go through the whole news report here.
Okay.
They're incredibly distressed. The governor of the state, Ubasani, visited the school the day the kidnapping happened on Thursday. A number of them spoke to him. They said that they felt abandoned, that there wasn't enough security in the community, and they pleaded with him to help find their children. This has become a huge national and international story. The president here.
Can you imagine what kind of what a big story this would be if this was not happening in Nigeria, but rather somewhere else in the world, somewhere closer to the West, somewhere in the Middle East, and especially if the perpetrators were not Islamists, but people of a different background.
Yeah. If this were anyone except Muslims committing the crime, it would be a bigger story. If this were some non-Muslim group kidnapping Muslims, if this were the IDF going and capturing 300 school children, something like that, it'd be international news. There'd be protests around the world. But no, just doesn't matter to people.
It's also more than that, to be very honest. I mean, there is something that people don't like to admit, which is even if it was a different religious group doing something like this to Muslims or a Muslim population in Nigeria, it would still not cause as much outrage and as much media attention as something that happens in the Middle East, for example. Because, to be honest, when I think of this, I see it and I don't know how to really deal with the fact and to respond to it. This is Africa. It's Nigeria. It is something that is happening in the sub-Saharan African world. if something is happening in sub-Saharan Africa, it automatically loses a lot of people's attention, and or it never gets the attention that other places get. People just don't pay attention to something. Like if you hear so many people have been murdered, or so many people have been kidnapped, or so many people have been raped, you get people's attention. Then when you show that it happened in Nigeria or somewhere else in Africa, lots of people immediately jump off board with their attention, because it's like, oh, okay, okay, so can't really relate, can't really care much about that.
Yeah, Nigeria is actually the place where the most Christians are killed each year for being Christian. In fact, it's for the past several years recently, there are more Christians killed in Nigeria for being Christian than in the entire rest of the world combined. And people hear almost nothing about it. I mean, Robert and I do a show called This Week in Jihad every week. You could actually do a show like that every single night, just covering what goes on in Africa with all the jihad going on in Africa. And it's amazing, by the way. It's amazing that people ignore this, because we tend to think that everything, what's going on in the world comes down to like the United States and Europe and so on, maybe China and a couple other places and so on. From the perspective of the spread of Islam, Nigeria's, possibly the most important spot on the entire world that everyone should be paying attention to. Is you got Muslims in the north, you got Christians in the south, and Muslims are trying relentlessly to push that line of division further and further south until it's all Islamic. What are they going to do after that? They're going to keep moving south. That's what they're going to shoot down through Africa. And so this is like a huge area. This stuff happens all the time, and the rest of the world ignores it because they're African, and it's being done by Muslims.
And there's also the thing. So Nigeria was known as a Christian majority country, and it had this balance between Christians and Muslims, Christian Muslim population. It is being changed as we speak, and it's like there is the balance right now, but the Muslim population and the Islamist movements are significantly more aggressive than the other side in trying to take over and making things go their way. And it's trying to be changed into a Muslim country from a Christian country, and lots of lives are being taken in the most brutal ways, and the government is doing very, very little about it. They still have a Muslim president, don't they? The guy Buhari, no, a different one now. I don't know much about the politics of Nigeria because it's Africa and nobody cares about Africa. So, but yeah, so that is the current state right now. Things are not really, really good, and it's probably good for us and others to highlight when things like these happen. I don't really know what to do about this except relaying the information. How can people help? What can people do about this situation?
I don't see much in the way of a solution to this problem, except for like dividing it into North and South Nigeria, right? Making them separate states and saying the Christians in the South have their own state. Like I don't see another way, because they're going to keep pushing that line as long as it's their country and they have their leaders in charge.
It is pretty bad. So I have this article from Open Doors, which tracks persecution around the world, persecution of Christians. It says that Christians in Nigeria, particularly in the Muslim majority north, continue to live under immense pressure and to be terrorized with devastating impunity by Islamic militants and armed bandits. More believers are killed for their faith in Nigeria each year than anywhere else in the world combined. The attacks are often brutal in nature and can involve destruction of properties, abductions for ransom, sexual violence, and death. Believers are stripped of their livelihoods and driven from their homes, leaving a trail of grief and trauma. Violence by Islamic extremist groups such as Fulani militants, Boko Haram, and ISWAP, Islamic State in West African province, increased during the presidency of Muhammad Buhari, putting Nigeria at the epicenter of targeted violence against the church. The government's failure to protect Christians and punish perpetrators has only strengthened the militants' influence. And so on.
Hey, you remember whatever it was, like a decade ago or so, when they took those Chibok girls, and like the world responded with a hashtag? Like you have these guys, they take hundreds of girls from a school, they take them out, they're converting some of them, they're raping them, they're getting them pregnant, and everyone in the rest of the world responds with a hashtag, bring back our girls, and that's all they ever did.
Yeah. Here, by the way, you can donate to this organization, opendoorsUS.org.
Open Doors, pretty cool.
Tracks persecution of Christians around the world and tries to help them.
But AP, why would you promote a group that supports Christians when we atheists have to destroy them?
Yeah.
You're just trying to win some donations from
yes,
white Christians.
I'm trying to get donations by white Christians to Open Doors here. So you can go right here on Open Doors and donate, and choose an amount, donate the money, and it goes to their efforts to help these people that are oppressed. I'm shamelessly trying to pander to Christians here to try and get donations for this organization, which is very, very bad.
Yeah, and by the way, everyone can go to Open Doors and sign up for their annual report, where they list the worst countries in the world and kind of rank them based on the amount of persecution in them and stuff. But it's a good way to stay updated on what's going on in the world.
Lazar Henderson said, "Wish I could donate, but I'm not white." This is unfortunate, very, very unfortunate.
We can see here that the apostate prophet has so turned off everyone who's not white by his completely honest statements about his true intentions to only reach white people. Why is anyone watching him?
Apostate prophet only wants white people to donate, and this just shows that he is a racist. Anyway.
Bola Ahmed Tinubu released a statement yesterday saying he'd do everything possible to return the children. Every single one had to be returned. He said anything less than that wouldn't be acceptable to him. And the U.S. Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, also released a statement late last night condemning the abductions and saying that the children should be released as soon as possible.
And Mayeni, what more is known about the 28 children who managed to escape?
Not very much, unfortunately. The governor spoke to the BBC yesterday. All he would say is that 28 children were released. He wouldn't give any more details. He said that's because he didn't want to jeopardize the
They escaped. That is quite impressive.
Well, it's actually a little difficult to be hanging on to all the kids. This happened with the Chibok girls too. Some of them got away when they took them because they take them into the woods, and then it gets dark and some of the kids would run off and stuff.
I was just going through the YouTube videos about this whole thing that I pulled up, and then I land on this. I forgot about this.
Hey, you should have had this warning at the beginning of your channel.
I know. I should have. I should always put it up there. According to the CNN. No, not CNN. There was an article. It was a better source. That was the Wall Street Journal, wasn't it? And there was also so here's what persecution.org says. I'm just trying to use Christian sources to appeal to Christians.
Yeah, just make sure you only appeal to white Christians.
Yeah, only to white Christians, so that they can donate to these organizations that help people who are oppressed. So terrorist groups kidnap about 687 people in northern Nigeria this week. On Sunday, March 3rd, gunmen from the Boko Haram terrorist group kidnapped at least 400 people from multiple IDP, internationally displaced persons camps in the northern state of Borno. On Thursday, March 7, unidentified armed herders attacked a school in Korea, Kaduna State, kidnapping at least 287 students and teachers. These horrific accounts come just 7 days before the 10th anniversary of the Chibok schoolgirl kidnapping, which sparked the international campaign Bring Back Our Girls. Boko Haram kidnapped 267 schoolgirls from Chibok in 2014, 98 of whom are still in custody, and so on. So this is ongoing. They are killing Christians, kidnapping Christians, and doing all kinds of horrible things. There were just a few years ago, 2 years ago or so, there was an instance of a woman being publicly lynched and killed and burned because of allegations that she offended Islam or something along those lines. For which, to talk about that, I had somebody, an activist, David Hundayan, on here to talk about that situation. So this is a very, very, very difficult place. The population of Nigeria is approximately 48.1% Christian and 50% Muslim. It was different. Christians were, I think, the majority. It changed. And unfortunately, there is the reality that Christians tend to be more, I don't know how to say it, more peaceful in their interfaith relations wherever you go, and maybe more timid compared to the other part that is much more ready to take drastic actions. And here in this case with these Islamic terrorists, they are basically freely killing and massacring Christians with the aim of changing the society and turning this into a full-fledged Islamic country in the near future. And of course, people don't talk about it because it's Nigeria and because the Islamists are the perpetrators and not the others. If it were the other way around, this would probably get more attention. Like, for example, in Israel, right, when Islamists attack and kill and massacre and rape and kidnap people, and then their victims respond, then everyone talks about it because the victims are then switching roles. And when Muslims are the victims, then this is the center of the attention of the world. That's how it goes. This is how ridiculous and how pathetic things are. But let's not speak the truth. Let's not be so offensive. Let's not be so offensive. I kind of actually want to go through the whole thing here to talk about how stupid this is and to talk about why we are doing things we're doing, honestly. Because I think this actually fits in very nicely. What do you think, David?
Wait, you seriously want to go through this guy's video?
I know it's painful, but I think we could, if we can make ourselves do it, we could answer some pressing questions that this guy raises, because it's mostly about why we are so harsh and so sarcastic and all that.
Hey, you've got jihadis around the world, and they're slaughtering and raping and kidnapping people in the name of Allah. Why are you so harsh against them?
That's seriously the great mystery.
It is. It's very, very, very strange. A pro-Palestinian protest will happen at my shul tomorrow. I might need shaky booty to scare them away. Oh no, where is this?
Yeah.
I put on my costume and come there.
Yeah, shake your booty, and Imam al-Sofat will go there and regulate. Imam al-Sofat and shake your booty.
I will put my cape on and fly there and take care of the situation. Shake your
We will
booty.
fly there. We'll fly there on Barack.
Brecht said, David, but I'm a Jew, and until recently I was very skeptical of Christians because my impression was that Christianity was anti-Jewish, blaming Jews for killing Jesus. Can you explain why this is wrong? This is a good, interesting point for you to go into.
Yeah, I do hear things like that. Like, David, what are you doing defending Israel when Jews killed Jesus? I mean, multiple things here. One, Jesus and all his followers were Jewish, so why not say, the entire early Christian community was Jewish. even if you wanted to say, hey, there were Jewish leaders who were involved in having Jesus executed, why in the name of common sense would I say that, would I blame some Jew today? If I wanted to do that, then I would have to go through everyone, in the history of forever, that was from any group that's connected to me and say, I'm responsible for all of that too. That would be a very weird thing to do. But three, why would you blame the Romans as well? The Romans killed him. And so Christianity is against Romans or something like that. So anyway, lots of different factors going on there.
Yeah, that is very, 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 very interesting indeed. Very interesting indeed.
But that is an issue where, okay, so you had Jewish religious leaders involved, you had Roman soldiers and so on involved. It's just a weird situation where someone will say, Jews were involved, therefore Jews, and therefore this is what Jews are. We're always told, especially when it comes to Islam, it doesn't matter how many Islamic terrorist attacks you have, you can never say anything about Muslims in general. Guess what? That's correct. You can say things about the ideology, you can connect it to the ideology, but you can't say that this random Muslim over here actually agrees in killing apostates until you ask him personally, right? But for some reason, when it's Jews, then anything that any Jew has ever done, you can point to and say, see, this is Jews. Anything any Jewish rabbi has ever said, you find this out online, anything any Jewish rabbi has ever said, you can say, you see, that's Jews. And so there's something about Jews where every rule that you would ever apply to any other group suddenly goes out the window.
The same thing is done with the whole, even during the whole current conflict right now. People can just attack anyone who is from Israel, and attack Jews, attack anyone who says, I think Israel has a right to exist, simply for, and they can take anything that happens somewhere in Israel where somebody does something that is unacceptable. They can take anything of that sort and use it to blame and attack all of Israel and all Jews and so on. But if you do something like that in response to the other side, then you're immediately called a racist by the very same people, and a Zion Nazi, and somebody who enables genocide and things like that. If that is genocide, then it's pretty cool, I guess.
AP just said it's pretty cool. We heard it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the case cracker in my case against the apostate prophet.
And this is the dark side of YouTube.
The dark side of the apostate prophet.
My new name is Apostate Abu, by the way. So yeah, please get used to that.
Double A.
Varun said, AP, where is your empathy? Please let AA know. I don't have any empathy, man.
You need to have more empathy for jihadis.
I don't have any empathy for anyone. Like, if somebody helps me, if somebody says, hey, you're so nice, let me help you, I think, okay, yeah, sure. And then I just hope they die and suffer. That's how I am. Ibai just said, is Jesus real? English Joshua. Did God really tell Ezekiel to cook food with feces? Did you watch Traveling Israel's latest video? It's insane. No, I didn't. I don't know what this is all about.
I'm gonna look that up.
Traveling Israel is a interesting guy who makes videos about Israel. I know because I know.
Oh, hey, you might want to check this out sometime. He says Israelis must listen to the Palestinians.
Oh yeah, that's true. 1901 Elena said the video sounded like a Dear Diary entry about Senpai, all about his feelings about you through the years. LOL. That's what it did sound like to me as well, Elena. But hey, I don't want to be a bully now.
And then the apostate prophet actually complained about Muhammad's command to kill apostates. Why would he do such that? Doesn't he realize how offensive that might be to jihadis who want to slaughter him in the name of Allah?
And he said, I hate those, without for a moment thinking about the feelings of those who support killing apostates. Black Milky says, from Toronto, thinking about doing a documentary about all of the inclusive contributions Jewish people have made to our society, hospitals, centers, etc. Do it.
Do it.
Outwardly crass says, love you too, missed the consistent lives. David Wood, I'm upset with you for not getting me Randy's address so I can write him a letter. Also, thanks for signing my Quran at Apologetic Con. AP,
D. Wood.
I expect you to see you there next year.
D. Wood signs all the Qurans. Everyone wants a D. Wood signed Quran. But yeah, hey, email me. I'll show you how to get in contact with Randy.
That's pretty.
If you don't know how to email me, go to answeringislam.net. You can get my email there in the authors section.
Yeah, that's what they do. John Hoy says, good Lord, put that mask back on. EQV Team Stash. Yeah, boy. DA, what's up, D? Hi, AP. We Atheist Republic are reporting on this this week. It looks like the IDP camp abductions was Boko Haram. Locals said the school kidnappings were bandits, gangs who kidnapped for ransom. You know what? I will watch your stream to learn more about this. Indeed, I will. Atheist Republic somehow suddenly started taking off again recently because they have been, Armin and the team have been talking about the whole Israel issue as well, and have consistently good takes without trying to appeal to those people who are like, oh, we shouldn't be a Zionist. Daniel High Kicker Pikachu says,
Hi, kick a Pikachu.
look at me right to my leather straps. Thank you, AP. I know Islamists are always kidnapping and killing
Hey,
Christians.
I was at Apologeticon and on stage for a panel discussion, and they're taking audience questions. And of course, the eyes of the leather strap came up, and I had to explain it to the audience, who was
Wait, is that what that was? I just saw a thumbnail of a video posted by your brother in Christ, where you're explaining the eloquence of Muhammad. Is that that?
That might be it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I have to check that out after we're done. That's funny. I know Islamists are always kidnapping and killing Christians, but have you considered that, like Candace, you've been programmed to think this is bad by the Islamophobic establishment in the West? Oh my God. I didn't really go into it, primarily because I'm blocked by Candace anyway, so I don't really see her interactions on Twitter, but she apparently recently apologized to Muslims for being fooled into having Islamophobic stances in the past and all of that. Everyone who has heard me ever talk about Candace Owens knows that I never had any respect for her, but she actually did that. So I'm just, I don't know.
Yeah, I never paid too much attention to her, but I had no problem with her at all up until the Andrew Tate thing. And I was like, what is this? How is this journalism? And then even more recently, so even after that, didn't pay much attention to her. But then more recently, and it was, and after 9/11, I was told that I have to hate all Muslims and to blame all Muslims. Like, what planet were you living on? That is the opposite of what everyone up to and including the president of the United States, the entire education system, all of Hollywood, all politicians across the board, every journalist on the planet was saying, don't blame Islam for any of this. We have to do nothing but proclaim that Islam is wonderful and get as many Muslim preachers on our shows and so on to show our solidarity. That's what happened after 9/11. And you actually had a wave of conversions because every single news program said, in order to show that we're not Islamophobic, we have to bring in a ton of Islamic preachers to proclaim why Islam has nothing to do with these things. And of course, they preach Islam while they're there. And that's what happened after 9/11. Who was it? Who are these mystery people who are telling Candace Owens, you have to hate every single Muslim on the planet and blame all of them? Who was that? That's the point. I don't believe that happened. I believe she's lying. And that makes me trust her even less than after she glorified Andrew Tate.
Yeah, she has never been a reliable, well-informed, or just informative person. But apparently recently she did say, oh, I was always told that Muslims are bad and I should hate all Muslims and this and that, and now I apologize, which is just it's very dumb, but it doesn't surprise me considering that Candace Owens has always been very dumb. But I have to look into it and see what else she said about it. I didn't bother so far. Maybe we can have a special stream about that because Candace Owens is always good material to talk about, just because it's so enjoyable. John Choi said AP looks like a famous Jewish corn. Talmudic Tunnels Construction Inc. says AP has started his GoTub career. Zayn gifted 10 memberships. Thank you so much. And thank you for helping expand the cult. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you, AP. Hope you become
AP even
extant.
called it a cult, thus indicating his intention of starting a cult.
Dimanosov, can I request you guys consider inviting Lloyd de Jong to one of your live streams? His knowledge of the Sharia is phenomenal. I'm suspecting that that whenever somebody talks about Lloyd de Jong or Lloyd de Jong, it is actually him, because I always I don't know. But yes, maybe I will. Maybe. Sarah from Alexa TV, who is now a grown terrorist, says AP looks like he should be wearing a fez. I'm kidding. I don't know what actually happened to that little poor girl who was saying on live TV, yeah, and of course, if they're Jews, we should kill them.
I wonder what happened to her. I wonder if she became a normal, had a normal life after that or something. I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised if now she is an activist and she's like, they are misrepresenting us. We have no problem with anybody, and we're just peacefully trying to live our lives. When we have videos of her being the host of a kids show, and under instruction by Hamas, she tells kids to hate Jews and to kill them and all that. Very, very messed up. Maybe she's got in touch with somebody like Daniel Kikaju and already got married at the age of 9 and now has children. John Choi, Mamma Mia. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't read the comment. What was that?
Pretty rude.
And we can see how AP treats actual Palestinians on his channel. He doesn't even read their comments when they send him their hard-earned last couple of Palestinian dollars.
Oh, it says AP looks like he should be wearing a fez and selling carpets with a funny accent. Now, what went wrong? Has Ataturk abandoned him? Oh, yeah. This was a very important comment, and I'm very sorry that I skipped it. But yes. John Choi said, Mamma Mia, I'd like a slice of pepperoni pizza with a side of Islam bashing. A VGK fan. Did you know that W starts with the letter D? Really? That's ridiculous, man.
When you're in trouble, you call DW. What?
Ooh, woo. Tom Young John 5 said, AP, Jesus saves. Thank you. Appreciate it very much. And thank you for putting this into a super chat. That looks very interesting indeed.
Well, you see that AP said thank you instead of condemning Jesus right there. And this just proves that he's trying to get some of those big church bucks from Christians. Don't fall for it, ladies and gentlemen.
And I always wonder, why in the world does AP not act in hostile ways against people of different religions? Should he not be condemning them? Should he not be considering and thinking about what kind of a representation he is for us ex-Muslims? Why does he not act exactly the way I want him to act? Why?
Yes, the entire world. I've learned over in recent years, the entire world revolves around me, and everyone has to act in the way that I think they should, and everyone has to do their YouTube channel the way I say, because I'm a complete total narcissist, and
Yes.
AP's not doing what I want, and this fills me with rage, very much rage.
Yes, indeed. And also, I had my testicles removed. Why does AP still appear to have testicles?
After spending years posting on Facebook, this is what I had for lunch. Isn't everyone interested? I've become convinced that the entire world needs to hear my thoughts, but they're not listening. So I'll just attack AP.
And by the way, do you know what I did to my testicles? I ate them. Edwin DeCosta said, "Hi, David, sir. Love your videos."
And isn't it a shame that this is how AP responds to me after I blatantly lied about him in an attempt to smear him? Wow.
Coffee House Dialogue said something bad happens in Gaza. "Rawr, it's a travesty. Something bad happens everywhere else by Islamist hands. But what about Palestine? This is justified because more Palestine." Exactly. This is how it goes. This is exactly how it goes. Alhamdulillah. This is exactly how it goes and how it should be going. Because Islamists are never wrong. That's the reality. Sarah Alexa TV says, "Your delivery sucks. I'd much rather buy from Amazon." What a terrible, terrible joke. Did you learn it on Hamas TV?
Very
Uh,
rude.
John Choi AP, I've got a leaky pipe that needs fixing. Sent my regards to Princess Peach. Yeah. Villainous SSB. What do you mean is now a wider nationalist? Oh yeah, indeed, indeed, indeed. That's
Yep.
why I like what do
Don't
you mean
trust that
because he's a white Christian.
And here we see the AP acknowledging that he really likes whiteness.
Yeah.
Or with the largest reach.
Oh, sorry. Wait a minute. Let me look at this.
He's not the only manifestation of that problem. He's the most prominent figure with the largest reach. And
he's the most prominent figure with the largest.
And that makes me lose my mind because I should have the largest reach. I do not understand why people don't like me.
I should be the ex-Muslim with the biggest one. Why is he the ex-Muslim with the biggest one? Jerry Mott said, "Any text taken out of context creates a pretext." That's an interesting point. Elena said, "He's obviously not that stupid and just being dishonest with cutting the tweet. You're being generous by assuming ignorance, AP." I'm very charitable.
Yeah, not for me. That was pure deception. Liar. Lying apostate. Aladdin. Your nickname is La.
Yes. Anyway, let's look into why AA doesn't have the largest.
And therefore the largest potential to cause harm. So it feels to me more urgent to voice my displeasure about him
It's
first.
urgent. AP is really making fun of Islam. We have to stop him.
It must be stopped.
First, I'd like to tell you a bit about my
they've actually made it common knowledge that Muhammad had sex with a 9-year-old girl. We have to stop this. We have to stop any methods that actually help convey accurate information about Muhammad.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Wait a minute. Oh no, my glasses. Oh no, my glasses. Okay, go. Put my glasses on. Good.
Out of AP, I imagined him with a condescending and mocking smirk on his face. Like many ex-Muslims, I had
wait, what?
AP with his smirk.
Wait, why is he saying about my smirk?
Nation and a consistently sarcastic demeanor. When I thought of AP, I imagined him with a condescending and mocking smirk on his face.
Condescending and mocking.
Oh no. Oh no.
And plus, I don't understand mockery at all. I can never tell, and so it's just confusing to me.
David, am I not like in interpersonal interactions like such a nice guy to people?
Yeah, nicest guy ever.
Nicest guy in the world.
True.
So, and I don't even appear like a complete jerk.
But he sits there, and when he's talking about centuries of jihadis slaughtering unbelievers in the name of Allah, he's just not as nice as me, and I condemn him for that.
Yeah, that's very funny.
My goodness, ever imagine like? Can you imagine like some of these guys having the same energy they have that they put into whining, actually like doing something and exposing Muhammad?
Yeah. It looks like we need a little bit of controversy, and it feels so empty without me. That's what's happening here.
Looks like a job for you.
Yeah, this looks like a job for me. Moo Cow says, "When you tell the truth, it's easy just to say what you think. Thanks, AP and David, for spreading the truth. Thank you so much. Appreciate it very much."
Hey, you know what's weird? It's like I get this. I only hear this rarely from Christians now because they over time they saw whatever else is going on, it is really a way to get lots of information across. But early on, I heard from Christians. I heard from lots of Christians, David, you shouldn't be mocking. David, you shouldn't be insulting Muhammad. David, you shouldn't be sarcastic. Heard that a lot. I don't hear it much anymore. But at least Christians had some basis, right? They would quote Bible verses about, speaking in a certain way and so on and say, see, this is where you're. But atheists complaining, atheists complaining that you're not being nice enough when talking about what child marriage and it's weird stuff, man.
Yeah, I just want to say, I mean, if you want to be nice, you can always be nice. Just don't expect me to be nice, especially in the face of people who are just out there promoting all kinds of terrible things. I'm not going to be doing that, and I think if you are doing that, I think it's stupid and ineffective. It's frankly very idiotic. But if you choose to do that, do it.
Do
go ahead.
you go around complaining about this dude that he's not more mocking and stuff? Do you post
No.
videos? Hey, he's being at this. We saw Michael Rappaport talk about this because people asked him, like, hey, you're sitting there and you're cursing up a storm and stuff. What's going on? And he said, there are different kinds of people in the world, and we need to be conveying what we're saying in a way that's going to reach different groups. So we need people who are just speaking like academically and scholarly. We need people like me who are saying it completely differently and so on. But that's how I've always thought. Like I've had Christians over the years say, "Hey, we just preach the gospel. We don't criticize Islam or we don't criticize Muhammad and so on." I say, well, that's fine, because there are people out there who just need to hear the gospel and they don't need to hear this stuff. But it was like I was thinking, someone needs to be doing it the way I'm doing it. Not everyone. I don't believe everyone needs to be doing it. In fact, it would suck if everyone is doing it exactly the way I'm doing it. But someone needs to be doing it this way. So I don't understand why this guy wouldn't say, okay, here's how I'm going to do it. And that's going to reach certain kind of people who like this approach. But AP's reaching different kinds of people. And there are people who are going to listen to him who would never in a trillion years listen to the approach of this guy here. Like, why would like the mentality of because I see this everywhere. It's here's how I do things. That is the only valid approach. And everyone needs to do only what I'm doing. Everyone needs to do it. Like, that sounds so insanely narcissistic to me that everyone has to act exactly like you. It's crazy, man. This is the world we live in.
Based. Carson Dev said you should have Dorshkar or Aharon Avraham, Muslim converts to Judaism, on the show. Also, did you see about Daniel H's Jew-hating rant in Detroit? That looks interesting. Should have a look at that Jew-hating rant in Detroit.
Have you seen it? I didn't hear about it. But that sounds like Daniel Hakiki Jew.
It does indeed.
I can't stand the Jews, and I want to bang little girls.
Chameleon said Apostate Aladdin left Islam. Islam hasn't left him.
He's still got a soft spot for old Islam there. Doesn't want you being offensive.
With this whole questioning how I act, he reminds me of this.
What kind of Muslim are you?
It's like, what kind of ex-Muslim are you? Maybe I should take sound bites from Apostate Aladdin. Apostate Aladdin, get off your high magic carpet, bro. Says John Joy. Kennedy the Alaskan said beep beep beep, sarcasm detected, self-destructing in 5
does not compute.
Sal Willis, AP with that mustache, you should be Cheech and David Wood Chong impressions, please. I never watched a single bit of those. So
just watch the car scene from Up in Smoke. That is one of the funniest things in the history of forever.
I will look. I will see.
Okay. I had felt a shock from realizing the extent of Islam's darker side. I didn't want to transfer that emotion onto him. Don't shoot the messenger. But even as the initial shock wore off, I felt more frustrated and bitter with every...
Is this a book? Like, is he...
It sounds like he's reading a book on audio. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like he's reading a novel.
Video that I watched. My internal monologue went from, how could I have believed this, to, how could they believe this? How could they be so stupid and intellectually dishonest? I didn't perceive anything he said at the time to be explicitly hateful of
Did he just say, did he say you're not being honest? This dude who completely butchered your tweet deliberately?
Exude a sense of superiority and disgust. He mentioned that he used to be very religious, yet he didn't speak like someone who understood what that was like. He spoke like someone who
correct me if I'm wrong, anybody, but I'm pretty sure from my conversation with this dude here, he told me that he was never really religious. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. So because that's the memory that I have of this guy, which explained to me why he is so cool, like a cucumber about.
Oh, you talked to him?
I did talk to him before. He invited me, and I actually was on his show. But I'm pretty
What'd you guys
sure
talk
that
about?
he told me, I don't know, about different things. That was like a long time ago.
He didn't. He didn't blast you for being mean.
He actually did ask me about that kind of stuff. Wait a minute. Infidel Noodles is definitely wrong, AP. Really? What was he religious at some point? I kind of have in memory that he doesn't come from a very religious background or something like that. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But I don't really know what he means when he says that I didn't talk like somebody who understands what it is to be religious, which is very, very strange. What does that even mean? Anyway.
Transcended that state of blind religiosity and now resented those who couldn't do the same thing he did. He acted like it's so unfathomable that people would believe in silly or harmful or hateful things, despite having been there himself. At the time, I made playlists of videos about Islam-related topics, and I often found myself omitting his videos from the playlists I would share with other people. I would have been too embarrassed to share his videos with a Muslim friend, for example, and I thought it was pointless anyway. His tone would have driven them away. After binge watching a bunch of his videos, I noticed the emotional toll it took on me, and I decided to take a break. And I later found my way back to ex-Muslim YouTube through channels like Hassan Radwan and Friendly Ex-Muslim and half a dozen other Arabic channels. I still felt...
Oh, he was very religious. He grew up in Saudi. I see. Well, he doesn't sound like somebody who understands what it is to be religious. See, I just said the same thing. And I don't even have to explain it.
AP lied about me and said I was not very religious. This hurt my feelings. Now I'm going to make another 27 videos about him.
Yeah.
cheated and duped by Muslims in Islam, but that feeling started to subside gradually with time. Because I'm human and humans are social creatures, I found myself full of thoughts and emotions that I needed to discuss with someone. I had already spoken with Muslims in my life about issues I found in Islam way before I even learned about the existence of ex-Muslims. I had spoken to many sheikhs and faith counselors and family members and friends, and then I found myself online, participating in ex-Muslim spaces, and eventually starting my own channel. That's when I rediscovered AP's channel, and that's when I paid more attention to the fights the da'wah men, the Muslim proselytizers, were picking with him. They were extremely intellectually dishonest, extremely off-putting characters, and so unapologetically hateful. I saw the way they twisted their own scripture and spewed hateful vitriol every
okay. Thank you. Oh, wait a minute. This is
chance they got. By comparison, AP was a polite and harmless angel. Even though his humor wasn't always my cup of tea, a bit cringy and clowny at times, I recognize that it takes all kinds, and I appreciated how he bravely fought back against the abrasive da'wah men of YouTube.
Thank you. That's very kind of you, Aladdin. Thank you.
He also served as a lightning rod that diverted a lot of negative attention away from other ex-Muslim channels. I spoke to him a couple times over the years, and he...
By the way, that has always been my intention.
They used me.
No, did you see the you being the lightning rod to divert other people's attention? That is always that was like early on after Nabil became a Christian, and it took like a month before he got his first death threat attached to his car. Once he started getting attention, it was always, hey, he's an apostate. So, and he's vocal in being an ex-Muslim. And so he's got a big strike against him that I don't have against me. So I need to make sure whatever else happens, I am always a better target than he is. So that's one of the reasons for dialing things up against Muhammad. But yeah, so yeah, as far as this guy, like just talking about him wearing his mask and stuff because he doesn't want to be recognized and doesn't want to be killed, he should actually be happy that people like you are way more popular. Because if a jihadi wakes up one day and says, hey, I want to go kill an apostate, who's he going after? This guy that no one's ever heard of, or you going after you? So you are the lightning rod. He should be thanking you, not whining about you.
Yeah. Indeed. I think he even made a comparison that I need to think further about before I say it. But anyway, my wife said, "Dear Diary, today I went on AP's channel."
Because I went on there and I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like me.
Oh no.
He liked riling up
daily
people
affirmations with Apostate.
I'm not sure if that was his way of accepting his unfortunate position, or if he actually enjoyed being a part of the emotionally charged debate bro climate. People kept comparing me to him, many claiming that I'm a copycat or just another hateful Islamophobe.
He did start off with apostate.
Yeah. And if you call yourself an apostate and ex-Muslim, then it's obvious that you're copying me. So That's that.
Yeah. So, double A. If you're trying to copy the apostate prophet, worst copy job ever. If you had actually copied him, you'd have a much bigger following right now.
But also, if you leave Islam, you're basically copying me already. So that's that. That's that. All right.
For his alleged misdeeds and public scandals, and I always maintain that we are two different people, and I don't have to answer for anything he says or does.
Oh, it feels like reading the Quran, man.
Humanize
it does.
them. These
That's
cultures
exactly what it feels like.
They're harmful or absurd or hateful
And
beliefs.
so anyway, so then when I was 7, then I realized that my job in life is to brutally go after anyone who's not as nice as I say they should be.
But why is he bringing this up?
I tried to ignore AP's channel. I couldn't help but notice his increasingly frequent collaborations with David Wood, a Christian preacher who spends more time talking about Islam.
Wait. Hold up. There's something wrong with the timeline here. There's something really wrong with the timeline here. So he rediscovered me after my my fight with Ali Dawa. And later on, he notices my increasing collaborations with David Wood.
Yeah, I was wondering what's going on here.
That doesn't make any sense.
Even uses the standard Dawa stuff.
Who talks more about Islam?
Yeah, why? Because no one else was. Apostate Aladdin.
Wait, but hold on. The timeline here doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. How did he notice? How did he first rediscover me when I had my whole thing with Ali Dawa? And then later on, he notices my increasingly frequent collaborations with David Wood. When I had my interaction with Ali Dawa, I had been collaborating with David Wood forever.
I just noticed that we do collaborate a lot, AP. I just discovered this.
Okay, but the timeline here doesn't make sense, and I'm wondering if he's just confused or if he's making things up right now. This doesn't make any sense to me. That's very, very strange.
Than Christianity. AP's channel had already received a significant following of non-Muslims, which is not in itself a bad thing. It is important for people to hear about the unappealing parts of Islam and life under Islam, which often go underreported by Muslims. The problem was the climate created by his channel's audience. Picture this. You're a Muslim or an ex-Muslim, and you tune into a live stream where an atheist and a Christian make cringy, lowbrow jokes about Islam for hours on end, with an audience of Christians and Hindus empathically cheering on.
Look at what he put on the screen here.
How would this make you feel? Imagine how your feelings might be hurt.
Ari Wasserman, Ellen, yo, Mo, what would he call Surah 2? Mopus, I choose the cow for the good of the children. Shout out to Ari Wasserman for always making the funny super chats here.
Oh man,
really, man? Yeah, we shouldn't be making jokes when we talk about Islam and responding to Islamists, and especially talking about Islamist terrorist attacks and people going around and making excuses for rapists and terrorists and mass killers and so on. We shouldn't be doing this. Imagine how you would be turned off if you tune in. Look, there is a thing here. I said from the very beginning, and I said over and over again, that when I go online and I talk about Islam, I am not intending to appeal to the average Muslim and pull them out of the religion, because for beginners, I don't think that that is how it works anyway. I don't think that the average Muslim just comes, just looks at random channels or just pops up on their feed and they're like, oh, let me look at this. Oh no, I now realize that my religion is wrong. No, I'm trying to appeal to people who are already questioning, who have left already, who are leaving at the moment, and not to all of them. Of course, not to all of them, because humans are different. I acknowledge that. I don't expect that everyone acts in a certain way, and all those who don't act that way are unacceptable and should be criticized. No, I have my way. I have my personality. I like to say what I think. I like to be sarcastic. I like to be direct and brutal. I like to not hold back when I think that something is wrong. And I like to do that and appeal to people who also like to do that, because I myself personally enjoyed other people doing that, and I want to be part of that. I want to be, as Curfew puts it, brutal based. Yeah.
And again,
I,
this
I
dude
acknowledge
doesn't.
that not everyone is like me, and I acknowledge that you might do things differently. That doesn't mean that I will go here and make a hit piece against you, right?
Yeah, and that's something that I learned about many years, because what this guy's saying is like, it's everything that that lots of Christians would have said to me in like 2008 or 2009. And it's like, where are you getting this from? We talk trash about Islam. Muslims can't stay away. They're drawn to
Yep.
us. They're drawn to us. So yeah, my goodness, this is some weird narcissistic stuff where, I mean, just imagine me making a video right now, and imagine if you're the apostate Aladdin and you're making a show and you're talking like this, and a poor Muslim stumbles along and watches your video and dies of boredom. You'd be responsible for his death by boring him to death by talking like this the entire time and never saying anything remotely interesting.
Well, once upon a time, I had a day on which I felt a little bit drowsy. And then after dinner, I went on this channel to look at a few things that I had missed over the years. As the wind was blowing through my hair, I sat down and began to realize that what I am listening to at this moment is not something that I was ready to perceive. Anyway.
Yeah. So, your new nickname there, Apostate Aladdin, will stick with your initials, AA, and but your new the initials now stand for Audio Ambient, because that's what you are, guys. I cannot encourage people to watch this for any sort of information. You will get bored out of your minds. But if you need help sleeping, this guy can help you. Just play his video on. Just play his video when you can't fall asleep. If you have insomnia, this is the cure for insomnia right here, ladies and gentlemen. Apostate Aladdin.
Stop attacking the guy. Think about his feelings and think about how you're turning off.
I'm sorry. I take it all back once again.
Jokes
do not want to hurt feelings.
On end, with an audience of Christians and Hindus empathically cheering on. Imagine how disturbing and alienating and hostile that feels. I felt it, and countless other people reported feeling the same thing. I commonly hear stories about how AP's channel distressed questioning Muslims and ex-Muslims.
Oh no! Just think about all the questioning Muslims who felt horrible after watching his video.
Yeah, what a load of nonsense. I used to hear this from Christians. Oh, David, he's hurting everyone's feelings. And so I would post like piles and piles and piles of comments from Muslims saying, hey, I left Islam after watching your stuff.
Can you imagine the tragedy, the horror? Can you imagine
having to hear that boning a little girl is wrong? It would be traumatic.
Yeah. And by the way, boning little girls is wrong. Yeah.
It fits so perfectly into the supposedly false narrative we were indoctrinated with, that anyone who criticizes Islam does it out of hatred, and they're probably rooting for a rival religion as well. It's one thing to raise awareness for the struggles of ex-Muslims and Muslims.
I'm sorry, AA, but it's not that this is being reaffirmed here. It is that you are falling for some simple propaganda and reiterating that due to your grievances with people not watching your stuff because of the way you speak and all that. Yeah, whatever.
And anyone else harmed by religion. It's another thing to pander to an audience's fear and make them feel personally persecuted, even if they aren't. His channel became a place where you can find and cultivate.
They're feeling persecuted. You're making Muslims feel persecuted, AP.
I am. Human Crook said, I'm a member of both channels. I think AA is clearly wrong, but he has a right to be wrong. He has no right to be wrong. What are you talking about? Islam is evil and deserving of mockery. He needs to grow up.
Yeah, yes. He's literally committing genocide against you right now.
This is literally genocide right now. Oh no, we shouldn't be making a joke about genocide. Think about all of the people who are questioning. And
David Wood and the Apostate Prophet think that criticizing them is actual genocide. I have the clip right here, ladies and gentlemen.
And now think about all of those people who actually experienced a genocide, who actually died in a genocide. Think about how they will feel when they come and see this.
They'll feel like they're being mercilessly persecuted.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah.
To hate rather than safety or a path to resolution. And whatever integrity and credibility AP had started to seem less and less evident. To sit in the
He
company
has
of
no
thieves and
integrity.
other religions.
This made me
Mm.
realize I can just completely lie about what he tweets.
Think about this. Apparently, I lose my credibility and integrity because
You make fun of Islam. You make fun of Islam. Yeah.
not only that, I make fun of Islam whilst also not attacking,
Whilst.
whilst also being okay with different religions and different
Yeah.
religions,
Yeah.
instead of hating all religions equally.
Yeah.
'Cause
In other
if
words,
I
you
am-
have to be like him. You have to be like him in every single possible way. You're trying it. You've got the hat. You've got the glasses. You've got the mask. But you also need to take like 50 shots of estrogen AP, and then you could be just like this guy.
Because in order to be taken seriously, I must hate my erstwhile religion, whilst also
Oh my goodness. David brought a screaming goat with a piece of the Quran in it. Just imagine if you're a Muslim and you see that, how offensive that would be when you're reminded of the goat eating the Quran and destroying parts of the Quran forever. Just imagine that.
I don't know what you think, AA, but over the years, especially over the last 2 years or so, I have been very, very open with how I think about different religions and religious beliefs and cultures and so on. And I have said some harsh things about certain religious practices of different religions or certain adherents of different religions, which is why, for example, Hindus got really mad at me at some points. And I didn't apologize or step back in any way. On the contrary, I doubled down when I thought it was necessary. However, my biggest problem here is with Islam, and I will continue being the way I am.
Which, by the way, from an atheist perspective, doesn't that seem like a more commonsensical approach? Like I understand a Christian who believes that, like, you know, what you believe is a matter of eternal significance. I understand a Muslim thinking that, right? Like, hey, these matters that we're discussing here and we're dealing with are matters of like eternal significance. It's very important that everyone is on the totally same page on who Muhammad was. And from a Christian perspective, hey guys, this is a matter of salvation. Everyone has to be on the same page about Jesus. We have to keep preaching. From an atheist perspective, it's like, oh, this guy's going to die believing in Jesus, or this guy's going to die believing in Muhammad. What would you care unless it's having some sort of significant impact on you? Like how would you care? And so that's kind of the reason for the takeoff of the new atheists was they convinced everyone, hey guys, the religion in general is going to destroy the world. And of course, you know, they've had a pretty good run of 20 years. And now, the more people become convinced of the new atheism, it seems like everyone's losing their minds. It doesn't seem like you're getting the scientific utopia that you were promising. So it seems like people should fall into atheists should be falling into the pre-new atheism, which, because that's the atheism that I grew up with, where it was like, hey man, if Jesus really helps you, hey, yeah, and go ahead and say a prayer for me in church. What the heck do I care if you're praying for me? That's how it was back then. And all of a sudden, you know, in the early 2000s, said, no, we have to stop this all. And these guys are mad because you're not buying into that nonsense where you have to be obsessed with what everyone else thinks, and you have to be obsessed with making everyone. By the way, notice the parallel, right? You got the new atheist, and it's like, no, everyone needs to be an atheist just like us. But that fits this guy perfectly, because everyone is supposed to be exactly like him. Everyone is supposed to walk and talk and live and breathe and think exactly like Apostate Aladdin. You know who else was just like that? Muhammad. Everyone has to walk and talk and think and eat and breathe and even go to the bathroom like Muhammad. And that's what Apostate Aladdin is like. Everyone has to be on the same exact page with him. My goodness, this is dumb.
Mamma mia. Terrible. ES 1002 said, no college kids defending Boko Haram. Strange. They will start soon.
Those poor
Chrome Did you guys get a chance to check out my pro-Israel anti-jihadist music? What did you think? Please be blood. I got to check it out. I haven't checked it out yet. I need to put it on the list of things that I will check out. I might have checked it out after about 5 years, and then I will get back to you and tell you what I think. Okay, I'll put it on here. Okay, all right. Daniel High Kick Pikachu made a super chat. Thank you so much. He has 1002 guys. Please listen to Yalla Ya Nasrallah. It's great. I'll make a note of that as well.
Yalla.
Farfur the Fowl said, no juice, no news. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. That's what they do.
Oh, we got the Farfur wars.
That's what they do.
The Farfur is a fraud. Oh no, Farfurs are fighting again. Farfur the Fowl said, no, sir, I'm the real deal. Obey says, hey, that's you. Look at it. A friend of mine who started more than 100 churches in Africa sent photos of beheaded mothers killed by Muslims, mainly in the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Yeah, I was at a conference in Ethiopia years ago, and there were Christians from several churches in different countries. There were people at the conference from a bunch of different African countries, and it was a lot of them were pastors, but it was also like security personnel, judges, police officers, all like people collaborating to understand what's going on in their countries as far as Islam goes. And I heard some of the sickest, most horrifying horror stories of all time about what goes on there. Almost no one wants to report it because they say there will be retaliation if it gets out. And I say, why don't you move somewhere else? And they would still go after the Christian community there just for me telling what goes on there. But it would be stuff like the Muslims come into an area and they capture the family and they slaughter the man in front of the woman and then rape the woman and then drain the man's blood and then hold her down and force her to drink it and forcibly convert her, and then she kills herself because she's so traumatized over everything that goes on. You say, hey, you should tell this story. And they go, no, because if you tell that story, then it's going to bring more negative attention on Christians for speaking out about that stuff. It's like, anyway, creepy stuff going on over there.
Africa is a cruel and wild world. And combine that with Islam, it gets even crueler and wilder. Sorry to say it, but that's just how it is. Carson Death said, that's Yaron Avraham and Dor Shachar. I will check it out. We'll check it out. We'll check it out, definitely. Not only Christians, news reports say gunmen kidnapped 15 pupils from their Islamic seminary in northwestern Sokoto state on Saturday, March 9. Kidnapping is a huge problem throughout the country.
Oh, yeah, and that's what. So you have the criminal organizations, and they tend not to care. But also Boko Haram, if you're not from the correct group of Islam, the Islamic State version is as well. If you are not from the correct version of Islam, they'll go after you too.
Yeah, you too.
A sight to behold. He sits around for hours reading silly super chats, letting David rave about Muslims worshipping a false prophet. Newsflash: as far as we know, all prophets are false.
Oh no! How dare he sit and read silly super chats?
False prophets.
Sitting around for hours.
Like AP believe. Or laughing about how Muhammad rode a flying horse to heaven, while David and his followers believe Jesus ascended on a cloud. You'd think AP would say something about it, but when he's in David Wood's company,
he didn't do it. AP, don't you know, if you don't believe in Muhammad's story about flying Barak, because it came centuries after the time of Muhammad, and if you doubt that, then you have to doubt everything that anyone believes that has anything miraculous involved in it. Don't you know the rule, AP? If you find any supernatural story silly and absurd, you have to constantly bring up everything else that has ever been mentioned in the realm of the supernatural. That's just how it works. And I still can't figure out why no one watches me. Oh my goodness.
So yeah, apparently if I make
That's what
fun
you're supposed to
of
do. Yeah,
if
if
I
you
make
say, yeah,
fun
so
of
someone
the
says,
story
hey,
of
the story of Barack is dumb, you're instantly supposed to go, but Christians are dumb because they believe in supernatural things too. And they believe that Jesus is miraculous. And you have to know that if you don't believe Muhammad was miraculous, you can't believe anyone is miraculous. Either everyone is miraculous or no one is. That's how things work in apostate Aladdin world. My goodness, what is this?
And I can't figure out. I know it's watching me.
this is so stupid. Like this is
So,
stuff that I hear
ugh.
from Muslim
He
apologists.
seems to shrink
So,
in presence and
so boring. So far we've got boring, liar, and dumb. That's what I'm getting. That's the vibe I'm getting here. Boring, liar, and dumb.
Stop insulting. He's being very respectfully deceptive and insulting.
And boring.
echo most of what David says or
And
does. One time he got a lot of backlash for eating a page of the Quran, but guess who did it first? David Wood. Let's imagine
Yeah.
for a second that an atheist who's vocally critical of religion
Oh, David Wood did it first, and later AP did it. Therefore, he is doing terrible things because David does them. Ah, okay, yeah, that makes complete sense. This
is that what he's
by
saying?
the way, scientific proof. By the way, I think so.
of what David says something about it. But when he's in David Wood's company, he seems to shrink in presence and echo most of what David says or does. One time he
It's a
got a lot of backlash for eating a page of the Quran, but guess who did it first? David Wood.
David, didn't we recently on several live streams have heated discussions about things that we disagreed on, including, for example, on the whole arguments for God, things
Yeah,
like that.
we watched multiple videos on various arguments for God. That's true.
And you were totally wrong on them, and I therefore criticized you.
One of us was totally wrong. He's the guy with
And
the
that
silly
was you.
mustache.
And I was, and therefore, because of that, you were attacking me because you couldn't accept that you were wrong, and I was then fighting back, and all that. Apparently, this guy doesn't get it. He doesn't see it.
Yeah, see, we disagree on certain things and we agree on certain things. What's the point he's making here as far as me eating a page of the Quran and then you ripping up a Quran later? What's his point?
That I completely agree with you and accept and run with whatever you say.
That's kind of not how I remember things. How I remember things is that the Dawa guys decided they're going to massively escalate in a bunch of different ways. And they're going to just announce that they're going to kill apostates. They're going to go after people's wives instead of going after the people they're actually criticizing and so on. And we said basically, hey, if you guys are escalating in all these ways, we can escalate too in our contempt for Muhammad, and that we don't normally do this stuff. But if you guys think that we can't escalate too, we will. And so did a bunch of other people. So did like Armin Navabi and Atheist Republic and so on. Lots of people were ripping up the Quran. So Armin, I think was it Armin? I think he's the one who did it with the Bible and the Quran.
Yeah.
So like everyone was trying to make the same point. You Dawa guys, look at the direction you're going in. None of us are going to let you go in that direction. We're just not. We're going to make you stop this stuff. And guess what? It worked. So like Apostate Aladdin's takeaway is, look, David did it and therefore other people copied him. So Armin and so on, everyone's copying. No, everyone's trying to make the same point. And it's partly like, for some of the people who are doing it, it's like solidarity. Like, hey, here's a couple people who are doing it. I'm going to do it too, because the more people who are doing it's like saying, hey, someone makes a Muhammad cartoon and everyone flips out about the Muhammad cartoon and starts sending threats. And then other people make the Muhammad cartoons. Oh, you're just copying. No, we're trying to make a point here. You're not going to stop us. You're not going to stop it. You don't control us.
What you're misunderstanding, David, is that if people do something like the same thing, have one after the other. If you do something and I later also do something that is similar to it, then that means I am just agreeing with whatever you say and copying. That's reality.
Hey, so Apostate Aladdin is acting like a sniveling little crybaby because he's not getting enough attention. But hey, other people acted like sniveling little crybabies who are starved for attention before him. So he's copying them.
Well, he also created a channel named Apostate something. After I created a channel named Apostate something, therefore he's just...
this is called projection.
Yeah.
Apostate Aladdin, if that is your real name, with your mask.
This is terrible. Yeah, anyway, let's continue.
Let's imagine for a second that an atheist who's vocally critical of religion, like Matt Dillahunty, for example, had an allyship with Muhammad Hijab, a Muslim preacher. Imagine them live streaming together for several hours a day.
He don't even know. He's got the Alamy version, but didn't even get it.
Look at this. This guy is seriously
This is the same thing.
comparing you to Muhammad Hijab, and basically saying that me sitting with you and making fun of Islam would be like Matt Dillahunty aligning with Muhammad Hijab and then making fun of Christianity.
Hey,
I'm sorry. Are you?
hey! Your wife just your wife just pointed out that he also wore a mask after Infidel Noodle wore
that's
one.
true.
So he's
Burn.
copying Infidel Noodle.
Burn, just like Aaron.
Burn.
But so here's the thing. This guy is actually making that comparison and failing to understand the simple nuances of it. Muhammad Hijab is somebody who goes around making rape threats, believing in Islamization, advocating for terrorism, advocating for all kinds of violence, saying that once the country has enough Muslims, it should be turned into an Islamic state, makes excuses for terrorists,
Defends
has
child
people on who-
child marriage.
yeah, and then advocates for some forms of punishing apostates and so on. And somehow, just because of the religious allegiances, Matt Dillahunty collaborating with him would be totally like me collaborating with David, who seems to be quite similar in politics, in human rights, and things like that to me. Not very different. Who doesn't advocate for these inhumanities? I'm sorry. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to explain why this is completely different, dear Apostate Aladdin, but really, man,
Yeah.
is this how you
Like-
use logic?
Yeah, everything this guy's saying is like crying out, "I'm stupid."
Wow, man.
Yeah. So, guys, really, and this is not. I'm not trying to offend anyone who likes Matt, but Matt and Muhammad Hijab are not the type of guys who would get along with each other, right? they're not, and that's kind of in general, in that they are aggressive towards everyone who disagrees with them. Both of them. Now keep in mind. I'm not saying they share that common feature. They're pretty aggressive towards people who disagree with them on ideology. With that said, you would definitely want Matt as your neighbor more than Muhammad Hijab, who's going to be eyeballing your daughter or something like that. But guys, there are atheists and there are Muslims who can get along with each other. In fact, if a Muslim is willing to, if a Muslim is willing to be okay with me, despite the fact that I have to put the Dawa guys in their place, if someone's okay with me like that, I'm totally fine with them. We're pretty okay getting along with people who aren't threatening to murder us, and put it this way. I have a problem with Apostate Aladdin. What's going on there? Is it because he's an atheist? No, it's because he's a lying, sniveling crybaby. I would not get along with him. Right? If I can get along with you, it doesn't matter if you're a Christian, an atheist, a Muslim, a Hindu, whatever. If I can get along with you, I can get along with you. And guess what? AP and I get along pretty well. Why would that be a bad? You can't get along with each other. No, everyone has to be a whitey little atheist at war with everybody.
That's the thing. David Wood being a Christian has no significance in the friendship and the relationship and the interactions here. What plays a greater significance here is what David does and what I do, and how David is and how I am, how we interact with each other, the things we say and believe, and so on. David could be a Christian, an atheist, an agnostic, a Jew, a Hindu, or even some weird Muslim guy who is against all of the terrible stuff that Islam promotes. We could very well work together. You are the one who is applying here the bigotry here and saying, oh, if this person is of this religion, or if this person is of that background, then you are not supposed to collaborate with them.
He didn't drop that when he left Islam. It's still everyone has to agree with me or else.
Yeah.
Except now it's not everyone has to agree with me or I'll chop their heads off. It's everyone has to agree with me or I'm gonna make YouTube videos whining like a baby. My goodness.
Grow up. Grow up. Jeremy Mott, free the earth from Islam. You can say that. Think about all those people who are Muslims. Farfour said, well, you false Farfour the foul. These are people who are fighting. I'll let them fight. Gwyneth Isaac says, I couldn't come to your live stream about jihad in Israel, October 7, grapes, and the disgusting things that Hamas have been doing, but I watched it later on YouTube and was so disgusted and angered by it. God bless your work. Thank you. Appreciate it. I made a live stream while you were going doing boring things at that conference, talking about the UN report.
Oh, they hooked that up. Apologetic Con. Everyone who was there for the first one, people are going to be jealous of them in the future.
Interesting. Ari Wasserman says, Arabs and Muslims have... Hey, Ari Wasserman made a $50 super chat. See, this is why I'm nice to these people. Can you imagine AA, like, be logical, be smart for a second. If I was honest and I disrespected people that watch my stuff, if I disrespected Christians, if I disrespected Jews, if I disrespected Hindus, if I disrespected different people who have different beliefs and different opinions, then how would these people make super chats? And how would I get the money out of them? I have to take into consideration that people, even if they say things I disagree with and that I'm an enemy of, if I openly disagree with them, they could stop making donations and could stop making super chats. Therefore, I have to be nice to them. This is what I'm doing.
And here we see that the apostate prophet is actually admitting that he's only being nice because he wants the white supremacist dollars.
Well, yeah, of course. What do you think?
Oh gosh, this guy should have a big he should have loser written across that mask because that's all I'm seeing. Dude, I had nothing against this, but is he always like this? Because this is horrible.
Yeah. Audio someone said Arabs and Muslims have black slaves in Algeria, Libya, Mauritania, and Nigeria, Sudan, and probably in other parts of Africa, as well as across the Arab world.
But saying that might hurt someone's feelings, so you should never ever say that, Ari Wasserman.
Yeah, I would say it's not true for most, only for certain groups within those. I have to point that out just in case those people who just tune in and see the super chat get offended and are then traumatized and could die from it. This super chat can literally kill people by offending them. It is genocide, it is ethnic cleansing, and it is cleaning. Dima Nosov said, I'm onto you, AP, because making a live stream about African suffering is exactly what the Grand Wizard do to throw us off. I don't know what that emoji there is because I can't see it because it doesn't show it for me. That's very strange. Yes.
But someone has to be to believe that man could be God. Would you think that Matt is a brave and honest fellow who's masterfully exposing the truth about Christianity? Or do you think that he's a hypocrite and a grifter who sold his integrity?
Yeah, I would think he's a hypocrite because he is basically befriending somebody who believes in jihad and apostasy laws and making rape threats and so on. That's the point, AA, you dummy.
For a devout audience and a monetary gain. Was all that AP went through really worth it if he now relies on super chats like these?
I mean, think of this. David Wood and the Apostate Prophet doing live streams together would actually be like Benjamin Netanyahu and Hitler sitting down and eating chicken together.
It's exactly the same. Exactly the same.
It's the exact same thing in my mind. And so
it is exactly the same.
This is why I'm so popular, my brilliant arguments.
AP and Dizzle went to Israel.
Through really worth it if he now relies on super chats like these to pay the bills?
Ever since AP and Dizzle went to Israel, I have no one to whom...
Hey, you got Ari Wasserman on there too. That's awesome timing.
Muslim cowgirl and jizya stained robes. Guess I felt strapped down. It's always
feels so empty without us.
Feels so
It does.
empty without me.
In reality,
This is the dark side of anti-Islam YouTube.
I have to say, I found your whole thing here pathetic.
This is the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And if this
At
is a
this
reflection of his
point-
normal videos, then wow.
At this point, just this part of the video, wow, I can't even put into words how
Look at his face.
pathetic this is, and how laughable it is, and how badly I want to laugh and cry in mockery right now in response to this.
Oh boy. This is the
Wow.
worst. This video is the Quran of videos.
Wow.
The Quran is to books what this video is to
This is the
video.
this is the dark side of anti-Islam YouTube here.
worth it if he now relies on super chats like these to pay the bills.
Ever since AP and Bizzle went to Israel, I have no one to whom to make filthy mopus jokes about cows, goats, Ellen, trajectory, Dua Lipa, Muslim cowgirl, and jizya.
Dua.
And he put on there, these are photos of dead people, and you can't
We're
make
res-
jokes and talk about. By the way, these are not photos of dead people.
Yeah,
Not
these
all
are the
of them
these are the
these are-
hostages, right?
These are actually hostages. Right?
Well, you can't
She here
you,
is a hostage.
you can't read a super chat while there's that picture up there because Apostate Aladdin says so, and we all live according to him because he's the narcissist.
Strap down. It's always
Feels
the
so
news.
feels so empty without us.
Feels so empty without me. Why did he zoom in on this?
To
On
show
me
you-
saying feels
to
so
show
empty
you
without
saying
me.
that.
And here we have the apostate prophet actually quoting Eminem. These basically Hitler.
Hold on. Seriously, help me understand. Because I don't get it. What's there to criticize and call out and call dark about specifically this? You saying it feels empty
quoting
without
Eminem.
us, quoting Eminem, and then me saying feels so empty without me. Why is this a thing worthy focus on? I seriously don't get it. What is he actually trying to do with this?
I'm not sure he knows. I don't know if you've noticed the dude does not know how to put together a good video. So
I really
nitpicking-
don't
nit-
get it. What is he
nitpicking
trying to
is
say?
not going to help. Nitpicking is not going to help.
Is he trying to say that I'm actually being serious by saying feels so empty without me? And
You're
this is
assuming
what I
assuming that
think,
you're assuming there's some reason here and not just
Oh, I should do something to make this less boring. I know. I'll just zoom in right here. That'll help.
no, it won't. No, it won't do. You can't have an entire boring, stupid video where everything you say is stupid, and
Look
then
at this.
zoom in on
Nobody-
AP and think that's going to spice things up.
Nobody in the chat knows so far why this is being done here. It's like nobody knows.
In reality, AP's situation is much more challenging than someone like Matt Dillahunty's. Despite Matt also being a bit abrasive and generally not an approachable teddy bear of a critic, he did not receive a fraction of the hate that AP did. He doesn't have to fear for his life or the safety of his loved one, unlike AP, who has received plenty of threats against himself and his family. Taking all that into consideration, I can understand why AP might find allyship.
So that's the thing. He doesn't get sarcasm clearly. Look, it's a sensitive
true.
issue to talk about. And I'm being serious about this for a moment here. It's a sensitive issue to talk about. But some people, due to certain conditions, may not be fully able to understand sarcasm when they hear it and see it. Some people, due to certain conditions, may not be able to understand basic social cues, may not be able to understand sarcasm, and it may be the case that we are dealing with that here. In which case, that's not something for me to, mock or make fun of. It would be a condition, but it looks like that's what we are dealing with, and I'm not sure if that's what we're dealing with or if this person is just incredibly.
But it has to be said. It has to be said. So, Apostate Aladdin, if you have some mental issue that keeps you from understanding what people are saying and what they actually mean, you should probably not make videos blasting people for what they say if you like rarely understand anything they're saying. So that's a little bit of wisdom there. Or what you can do is you could script out your video. You script out your entire video, and then you hand it to someone who does understand what other people are saying. And then you could ask them, hey, does anything I'm saying here make sense? And they would tell you, no, you haven't said one thing in this entire video that makes sense at all, given what they're saying. You sound like a liar, a boring liar, and a crybaby. And so stop. That's what they would tell you.
Yeah, lots of people in the chat are already saying it. So yeah, I'm obviously talking about the autism spectrum, and the only reason that I'm being so careful wording this is that I don't want to make a mockery out of that, and I also don't want to assume and insult somebody who, I don't know, maybe isn't on the spectrum. But if that is the case here, because of this repeated inability to perceive obvious sarcasm and then use the sarcasm and turn it into a hit piece, I would say it is probably a you problem, and you should probably deal with this in a different way, not by making hit pieces against people. Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly the point, right? Like, I know I have a certain mental problem that keeps me from being aware of certain things. What's that mean? Well, it means I should probably keep my mouth shut about those things in certain times, right? If I don't understand what's going on in someone else's mind, I should probably not act like I do, right? Here, so Apostate Aladdin, if no one's ever told you that you do a really terrible job of understanding what other people are saying, now you've heard it. So if you have the slightest bit of integrity after this, you should be like, oh, maybe I need to run some things by other people since I lack the ability to understand what
See,
they're
this
saying.
is what I mean. Some people are saying, "Oh, that was too insulting. I'm being disrespectful."
You're not. I thought you were as careful as you could possibly be while saying, "Hey." I mean, keep in mind, you're giving the guy the benefit of the doubt and assuming that it's not deliberate. That's as nice as you could possibly be.
Yeah. I have never ever mocked people of based on ability and all that, and have never been in favor of it, and have always opposed it, and have all kinds of respect and compassion and understanding for people with different conditions and all of that, which I do not say because I want to be politically correct. I don't care at all about being politically correct, which you should know if you know me. I'm just not, and it's not. This is not an insult. Yeah, here my wife is pointing out, it's not an insult.
Yeah.
If you think that it is an insult, if you perceive it as an insult, it's probably because you have you perceive it as such, and you need to deal with that. That's not an insult to me at all, because to me that's not an inferior thing. It's not a flaw. It's not it doesn't make people weaker or worse or whatever it is. It is what it is.
It can actually help people.
Yeah. But anyway,
in David Wood when he couldn't easily find it elsewhere. But it doesn't excuse the person he has become. Maybe this was always his personality and it's only coming to light now. Maybe it started with the hate he received from Muslims, or maybe David Wood's inability to feel empathy is rubbing off on him. Here's just one example of how he talked about the death.
You're becoming a psychopath. Hey, we've talked about this before, that that there's a category called dissocial psychopathy, right? Those are people who aren't born psychopaths, but they adopt the characteristics because they're adaptive. So he could be saying, hey, David's a psychopath and lacks empathy. And so you're hanging out with him on live streams. And so it's rubbing off on you and you're becoming more of a psychopath.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you can observe me on different occasions, get very, very weak in response to certain things that we talk about emotionally. But here's the funny thing also. I recently joked because somebody brought this up and said, if anybody is making the other side say, or the other one say messed up things, it's me. Because I rarely hear David say completely outright insensitive, terrible things unless he's doing live streams with me.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Like I don't say, like if I were talking about Muhammad and Aisha, I wouldn't say banging a little girl, right? I do that when I'm with AP because he runs his mouth too. He says a bad, see? And this is why Christians have to warn me that AP's being a bad influence on me.
I have always been like this. I don't know what this guy is talking about.
I've noticed that does seem to come from the Islamic mentality where it's just a popular thing to say, oh, you're like this because this other person was. Like I used to get that all the time. Oh, David's talking about jihad because Robert Spencer is talking about jihad and he's copying Robert Spencer because no two people would ever talk about jihad. Right.
Yeah.
Unless one's copying the other. What is this, man? What is
GS said, let's not forget though, AP got IP to say bad words. I did trick him at one point when he was quoting something. I said, wait, that's not what they said.
No,
And
IP
then-
does say bad words. AP just got to do it in public.
Yeah, I just pushed him to do it deliberately and then laughed about it.
Potty mouth AP influence potty mouth IP to be open about his potty mouth live.
Corrupting everyone, and then they think
Corrupting
I
him.
am the one being influenced.
And I need the West to understand something. Bombs kill people.
Whoa,
Did you know
they
that?
do. Wait, whoa. Did he?
Hold up, he's using this as an example of us talking trash about dead people. Look at this. Now listen to this whole thing.
Death of people they don't like, Palestinians.
And I need the West to understand something. Bombs kill people.
Whoa,
Did you know
they
that?
do. Wait, whoa. Are we making fun of Palestinians? Or are we making fun of Cenk Uygur for actually saying in a debate that bombs kill people? As if this is news. I'm not going to be sharing this powerful information.
Yeah, I don't think anybody.
Wait, just to clarify, he's saying if you drop a bomb on me, you can kill me?
Yeah, it sounds stupid, but that's what he's saying. Yeah.
Yeah, so, by the way, I also found out after I saw this, I found out that if you shoot somebody, they die too. Like if you shoot somebody in the head, for example, because the bullet goes in there and it drills into your head and it kills you.
No, I think they just fall asleep and then they wake up. I said they just fall asleep.
It kills you.
No, I think they just fall asleep and then they wake up.
Yeah, they're misinformed. Like,
Oh man. I can imagine Apostate Aladdin flipping out right now because we're laughing at how dumb he is.
most people.
Oh boy.
This guy is bringing out the real truth here, man.
Wow.
Just-
You got the real truth here. Truth bombs.
yeah, truth. Dropping truth.
You said truth and I combined it with the bombs. Oh boy. I don't remember saying any of this, but that's funny.
This is very, very good.
Oh, boy. This is
sarcasm
what
here.
he's flipping at. This is what he's mad about.
This is
Us
good
being,
humor.
us being hilarious.
I must say, this is brilliant humor, and
For Pierce Morgan.
I don't know.
And then he's also, I don't know what they could possibly be thinking. Oh, they made fun of Cenk Uygur.
oh,
If this was a
Oh,
pathetic
boy.
attempt at humor or if his countless
pathetic
pathetic.
attempt. We should be
Everyone-
getting an award for this, man.
This should, I mean, Dave Chappelle, us. Dave Chappelle, us.
hours around David have acclimated him to his cold-blooded psychopathy. But it can still be
Yeah, only a psychopath would point out how stupid it is in a discussion to say, hey, did you know that bombs actually kill people? I'm informing you right now, right?
to say
Oh,
the least. Can you imagine saying this to the relative of a dead Palestinian or even a dead Israeli?
If you shoot somebody in the head, it kills them, for example, because the bullet goes in there and it drills.
One thing is clear.
Hey, listen. When we make fun, when we make fun of Cenk Uygur, or when
Only
we
a
start
psychopath,
joking-
AP. Only a psychopath should say something like that.
when we joke about this, because Cenk Uygur just said bombs kill people, and we joke about it. Well, we are not joking about the fact that people are dying.
That's
We're
correct,
not
yeah.
joking about the fact that people are being killed. What we're joking about, and this is not very difficult to understand, it's actually very, very simple. We're joking about the fact that Cenk Uygur is actually going there and trying to give responses and arguing and giving just completely stupid responses without explaining anything appropriate, without giving any insightful commentary, and just saying dumb things like, oh, guess what? When you drop bombs, people die, and that's bad. This is what we're mocking. We're not mocking the deaths of people or people getting killed. We are mocking Cenk Uygur for the ridiculous points that he's making.
And that's all he made were stupid, ridiculous points.
Yes.
And guess what? When people make stupid, ridiculous points, as you can see right here, we make fun of them. Why?
Yes.
We believe that mockery is an effective way to
Yes.
expose stupid, stupid points.
Yes. 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 And people died laughing at this. And that is very sad.
They talk about the death
Well,
of
he
people.
says people literally died laughing.
And that's good.
Palestinians.
And I need the West to understand something. Bombs kill people.
Whoa,
Did you know
they
that?
do. Wait, whoa. Did he say bombs kill people?
I had no idea. This is insane.
Gosh, this guy should be president of the United States, man.
Yeah. I don't think anybody.
Wait, just to clarify, he's saying if you drop a bomb on me, it could kill me?
Yeah, it sounds stupid, but that's what he's saying. Oh, by the way, it sounds stupid, but that's what he's saying.
This guy doesn't see the humor in this. Oh my goodness!
After I saw this, I found out that if you shoot somebody, they die too. Like if you shoot somebody in the head, it kills them, for example, because the bullet goes in there and it drills into your head and it kills you.
No, I think they just fall asleep and then they wake up.
Informed like most people, but yeah, this guy is bringing out the real truth here.
Wow, Jesus. He's dropping truth bombs.
Yeah,
all over Pierce Morgan.
I don't know if this was
Wait.
First, we're the ones who said it, and we're cracking up laughing. Second,
I know.
we just watched it a couple minutes ago, and we're cracking up, and we're watching it again. We could probably watch that 20 times, and it would still be hilarious to us. Why? Because
It is
it's hilarious.
hilarious.
Yeah. Oh boy.
It is
a
hilarious.
pathetic attempt at humor.
Look, he doesn't know if it's an attempt at humor. This is the problem.
Absolutely. All over Pierce Morgan.
Look at this.
I don't know if this was a pathetic attempt at humor or if
Yes, that there is the problem. First off, how dare you? It was amazing humor. Secondly,
It was the perfect humor.
secondly, this here exactly is the problem, dear Aladdin, that you don't know if this was an attempt at humor. This is the problem. So please solve your problems in a different way.
Oh boy.
it's disturbing to say the least. With despite him often saying that he doesn't hate Muslims, he usually follows it up with demonstrating that he pretty much does. You can really start to see it come to light after October 7th, when Hamas attacked unsuspecting Israelis, took hostages, and murdered over 1,000 people. Ever since, Israel launched multiple attacks on Gaza, murdering tens of thousands and injuring multiples more.
Murdering tens of thousands. There we have it. This is the reason why he's offended. You call it murdering.
A literal
A lot of
genocide.
Palestinians now starving to death and unable to access.
And he
humanitarian-
also believes the story of people actually starving to death.
And supposing
death.
there's like piles of people starving to death. Why are they starving to death? Is it because jihad, which we're trying to stop? So who, Apostate Aladdin, who's trying to keep this cycle going and who wants to see it stop? You're on the wrong side, sport.
Yeah. That's very, 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 very funny. And let's continue.
humanitarian aid. Ever since October 7th, AP has not stopped unconditionally supporting and praising Israel's every move. He says the most dehumanizing things about Palestinians
Every move? I don't think so. I actually was critical at some point.
while presenting himself as a
Yeah,
fair and
I
nuanced.
recall saying a bunch of times that Israel's doing all kinds of things where I'd be like, "Oh yeah, you should have been a little more careful there." Oh yeah, and I mean, we pointed out one of our observations when we were over there that they seem fairly incompetent at dealing with certain attacks that are being raised against them on social media. And that a lot of the way they handle they don't seem to take into account how they are perceived by other people around the world when they're getting blessed and so on. So all kinds of problems that we've addressed numerous times. And what does Apostate Aladdin
doesn't
say?
even.
Nope. Anything that any Jew has ever done is completely okay with the apostate prophet.
Plus, it doesn't even make sense. It's not consistent. Like he's saying here that I praised Israel for everything that they did in this war, but at the same time, he's also saying that I said Israel should be harsher. So obviously, I'm not praising them for everything they do. I think
You're saying
should
they're
be
being
harsher.
too soft. You're saying
Yeah, they're being too soft. So.
And so, hey, Apostate Aladdin, since for whatever reason, and I'm not, I have no idea. I mean, it could just be cultural that you don't understand things like sarcasm or anything else, or really any point that anyone is ever making. I'm just going to speak for myself here, but I'm guessing that AP's thought process is pretty similar. We're looking at the big picture. We're looking at the big picture here. There's this ongoing cycle of violence where you've got terrorist groups and they'll rally support and get a bunch of missiles and do a bunch of stuff. And then eventually they'll launch an attack. Then the retaliation comes and Israel blows places down to rubble. And then guys regroup, and then they come back and slaughter more Jews and launch another attack and so on. And then Israel retaliates. Do you want to see that going on forever? I don't. I would like to see it stop. And so we look, how does the world move forward? Well, not by a ceasefire. Not by a ceasefire, not by complaining about Jews, not by whining about Jews, not by chanting from the river to the sea, not by getting a bunch of idiot college students throwing tantrums around the world. You have to destroy Hamas, and then they have to get rid of this obsession with taking the land of Israel back. Those things have to happen. What do we focus on? The very things that will actually end this cycle of violence. What are you doing? You're trying to keep it going, and you think you're the good guy, and you condemn us for sticking to, with laser-like focus, sticking to the issues that could actually fix the situation. Shame on us.
By the way, Diana here pointed out something important and said, I think you should mention that was a joke, AP. Yes, when I just said that that this doesn't make sense because I obviously don't agree with everything Israel does. I think they should be harsher. Yes, that was actually a joke. AA, please don't take that seriously as a rebuttal. And yes, that's very, very important to point out. And by the way, Eli also made a super chat of $200 here to support us, and that's incredible. Thank you so much. Big shout out. Love you both, he said. And obviously, because he's a Christian, I have to make sure to be respectful to Christians and their beliefs, to make sure that super chats and donations like these come in, and have to always hide what I actually think about Christians and always be nice to them, because I'm doing all of this for the money.
No, you see, what you're supposed to do is when a Christian is nice to you, you're supposed to make fun of his religion. That's what you're supposed to do if you're going to be a consistent atheist. AP, just because jihadis want to slaughter you in the name of Allah and they openly admit that they want to execute you as an apostate, if you're going to be consistent in opposing them, you have to oppose a Christian handing you a super chat.
Inshallah. That makes perfect sense. Drew Trevor said the link is too long. It's on alislam.org. Okay. Farfu, we need to get Aladdin a subscription to GoTop. That might be the solution we're looking for. Indeed, that might be the solution that is needed all along. Lazy Man said they are very good at using the word Islamophobia and even racism as a defense. Alhamdulillah. Jack Emo of Muhammad was written all day and night by black men to the point he couldn't walk. terrible, terrible, terrible super chats being made here. Like, just think about all the people who just tuned in and read that and listened to that and are now feel alienated and traumatized. Mush Cohen said, BBC staff meeting. Okay, guys, what do we have? People were murdered in Yemen? No. Christians slaughtered in Nigeria? Pfft. Hamas said Israel won't honor the Ramadan. How dare they?
Mhm.
That is literally, I made a tweet on this whole thing, and I just want to show my own tweet because I want to show my tweets by myself because I am the most reliable source on the internet, and I always look at myself to get new information. So, where I basically pointed out that these people are saying Palestinians used to enjoy the special atmosphere of Ramadan. Even this joy was stolen by the Israeli occupation war this year. And people are apparently not aware that October 7 was actually a Jewish holiday. It was
Yep.
actually a Jewish holiday.
And
So,
there's a tradition of attacking on Jewish holidays, isn't there,
yes.
AP?
Yes, there is. It also happened. One of the great wars that happened was the Yom Kippur War,
Mhm.
where the Arab nations specifically chose the day of Yom Kippur to attack Israel.
Yeah. So the jihadis make it a goal of attacking. They make it a goal of attacking on holidays because they understand it's easier to catch people off guard, which actually it was. That actually happened on October 7th. But I have to ask, did Israel just decide to attack during Ramadan? Was that a thing? Or is it because Hamas attacked them and is still hiding? They refuse to surrender and they've still got a bunch of hostages. Is that the reason there's still going to be attacks going during Ramadan? In other words, who's to blame here? Because I would blame the guys who attacked and then ran back and hid with a bunch of hostages who could end this right now. They could end it before Ramadan. Hamas could stop this right now before Ramadan. They don't want to.
Yep, they don't want to because they urinate upon one another.
Urinating upon one another. That's what they do.
Jesse said, why does it seem Westerners know good Nazis were scum of the earth, yet defend and support the murdering true flowers of the Quran, the actual good Muslims according to their book? Confusing reverse mindset. Not all Muslims. Yes. I can't exactly follow what this is supposed to say, but yes. Exactly, Jesse.
No, she's saying, hey, people can look at Nazis and say, oh, okay, yeah, those are the bad guys, but then they'll turn around and defend Hamas.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. I don't know what David just said, but yes, exactly. Villainous SSB says, please mention the boys are turned into war slaves by Boko Haram. Need more information on that. I might invite somebody who's from Nigeria to speak further about this.
Ooh, that would be good. Get a couple of Nigerians on here.
I might get in touch with another David Hundine, who was on a guest on my channel. You know what? You should invite him, actually. You should invite this guy. Very, very solid voice on the whole issue, and talk with him about this. He has 980,000 followers, almost 1 million now. I had him on my channel as a guest when another incident happened a year or two ago. He's very, very good. John Choi said Hamas attacks Israel on the Jewish holidays of Simchat Torah and Shemini Atzeret. Also, Hamas, let us propose a ceasefire. We must observe Ramadan. Exactly. And not just Hamas. They celebrate it all around the Arab Muslim world when they attack on Jewish holidays. But then Ramadan, of course, is like, about Ramadan. Think about Ramadan. Think about
our
Ramadan.
feelings on Ramadan. Don't you know we're trying to gorge ourselves with food twice a day while we call it fasting?
Alhamdulillah. Esther 11446 said, here is a donation from a white Christian. You're welcome.
See what
See
they
they're
do.
openly admitting it now. Alaska, this white Christian will donate to you. Keep it up. See you at the next rally. Don't forget your robe. Inshallah. I will bring the torches. Gwyneth Isaacs says, AP getting ready for Antifa jihad. Watch out. Inshallah. Soon. Enjoy. Aladdin, you with a Diet Coke of apostasy. Just 1 calorie. Just some guy, cheese be upon you. Sahih Masker seems like Apostate Aladdin still has a Dawa-inspired inability to understand sarcasm and be disingenuous. I don't know what it is about. Blue Moon, David Boy Jesus lived and died as a Jew. He did not say, I am no longer a Jew from now on. I am. Correct?
Yeah, and the early Christians, I don't think they thought of themselves as starting some new religion or something like that. They
Yeah.
believe that Jesus is the fulfillment of Judaism. So, well,
I don't know if you've seen these tweets, but everyone was laughing about them, starting
what
with
tweets?
me. I don't know if you know about this idiot, Kim Iverson.
Oh yeah, I've
She
seen
is,
some of her, mainly because you've shared some of you've replied
yeah,
to a couple other things, but it was all
uh,
stupid. It was all like insanely stupid, right?
yeah. I don't want to be disrespectful to
I
her.
will. I'll do it for you.
She's very stupid, and the things that she said were incredibly stupid. No offense. Um, but so here he was one of those tweets that it was posted by all these mockery pages, including Bad Middle East Takes, where she said Jesus was a Christian.
Wow.
He was persecuted by Jews as a heretic and crucified for preaching the new gospel. It's one of the first most well-recorded punishments of a thought crime. And if you keep insisting he's a Jew, not because of his faith, but because of where he was born, then why isn't anyone born in Bethlehem today considered a Jew?
I remembered I remembered that really stupid.
Like it's
She thinks he's a
every
Jew
sentence,
because he's born in Bethlehem.
every sentence, everything she says here is wrong and stupid. Like, how can you be so wrong and so stupid about every single thing here and then attempt to actually talk about it?
And once you get exposed for being a complete idiot, like how do you just keep doing the same thing over and over again? It's weird.
Yeah. It is very stupid. Incredibly
Yeah.
stupid.
So, Apostate Aladdin, take a lesson from Kim Iverson here, right? If you say some really stupid stuff and you get exposed for it and made fun of for it, maybe take a lesson and next time think before you say something stupid.
Yeah. And here is I actually mocked her because of this.
Shame on
Here
you.
she said, by the way, the word
AP.
Jew.
AP, just imagine a Kim Iverson fan scrolling across your page and they see you making fun of her for saying really stupid, insane stuff. Can you imagine how that Kim Iverson fan would feel? He'd be heartbroken. He would never listen to you again. He's probably going to kill himself.
I said the smartest Jew haters, and showed this where she says, by the way, the word Jew wasn't used during Jesus's time. Even the term Judaism wasn't used to describe the Hebrew religion.
Oh my goodness.
And then look,
it was.
look, the Bible wasn't written in English.
Wait, the Bible wasn't written in English?
This is the reasoning here.
First, I find out that bombs kill people, and now I find out that the Bible wasn't written in English.
Jew and Judaism weren't used because the Bible wasn't written in English.
Oh my goodness!
This is the kind of stuff that we're dealing with here. Jew in English stands for Yehudi or Judaion or all kinds of the versions of it in different languages, and you can actually find the very word in the New Testament many times, and you can even find the word for Judaismos, I think, in the epistles of Paul, so they were clearly mentioned. You can also find the same word in different languages in contemporary writings and all that. The fact that the Bible wasn't written in English, which apparently she thinks is a great premise for this argument here, is completely irrelevant and incredibly stupid. By that same standard, Jesus also wasn't a Christian because the word Christian wasn't being used there because it's an English word. But man, this is just, I don't know what to say.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, these are the people we're dealing with. Anyway, let's get to another idiot. But before that, Blue Moon said David Wood, Jesus lived and died as a Jew. No, not that one. Here, Flypain25. Guys, I'm a Jewish artist, and even female artists I know are denying the rapes. I can't even go to my AA meetings without hearing pro-Pali stuff.
Yes, people fall for manipulation very easily. That is probably the greatest threat of our time, is how easily people can be manipulated right now.
Pretty bad. Ari Wasserman, AA is a putz. He barely laughed at any of my jokes when I made my first super chat to AP on August 4, 2021, asking if pee collected after drinking Zamzam water was sacred to drink. Good riddance. That's very shameful.
No
of
sense
him.
of humor. No sense of humor at all.
That's very disrespectful of Apostate Aladdin, and I just lost all respect I had for him. Dove Bleichfeld said, "Hey, AP and David, love your videos. I can see David is afraid of us. That's why he doesn't show his face." Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. Link Wayne made a super chat. Thank you so much. Appreciate it very much. KZ said, "I'm just here for AP's hurtful and hateful commentary. When AA started with that jink bombs, hurt people clip, I laughed out loud. Seriously, though, keep shouting the truth." I'm not shouting. I don't want to shout. Arya Wasserman said, Aladdin.
And now, after me attacking them without provocation, even though AP's done nothing except try to help me, and after I lie about them, they're making fun of me. You see this?
That's exactly the narcissist. Hey, Apostate Aladdin, when you react like that, because I already know how you're reacting, I can't believe they keep making fun of me in spite of me consistently lying about them and misrepresenting them in order to deceive my moron followers. Dude, that's a problem. The mentality where you just get to behave however you want, in no matter how despicable and how deceptive it is, and everyone just has to not respond or not make fun of you for doing it. That's a problem, dude. That's called narcissistic personality disorder.
Now imagine you are a narcissist and you join this live stream and you hear David talk about narcissists.
You would be
Imagine the
offended.
pain,
It
the
would
pain
hurt your
you're
feelings.
causing.
Crusader of the truth. In this tweet, he recognizes that Israelis cannot be considered culpable and fair game just because they're Israeli. He understands the concept of an innocent civilian. While in this tweet, he responds to a picture of a woman's demolished home by saying, "Play stupid games, win stupid prizes."
Apostate Aladdin. On the surface, when you present it like this, it looks like you're making a point here. Once you go beneath the surface and ask what exactly is being said here and why I made that tweet, maybe you could think about it. Maybe you could think, okay, why exactly did I say this? Who is the person that that AP is responding to? Who is this person? Does that have any relevance? Maybe I should ask AP about this. Maybe I should ask why he's making such an insensitive tweet, saying "play stupid games, win stupid prizes," when a woman tweets about her house that was destroyed. I don't know. Maybe I should inquire. No. I will just make my own conclusions. I will just make my own conclusions. I can tell you the context immediately, dear Apostate Aladdin. When I respond to this woman, Hind Khudari, who says, "What is left of my house?" And when I say "play stupid games, win stupid prizes," I'm responding to this person specifically because the person has been making pro-war and pro-Hamas and pro-Palestine tweets and posts and all of that since the beginning, and was also among those celebrating the attacks and participating in all kinds of justifications of attacks on civilians and so on. So when that person is pro-war against Israel, but then in that war, she suffers as a response, yes, my response to that may be play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And there's nothing wrong with it. If I now just posted a picture of some random people who have said, and I don't know anything that these people have said, but they're suffering as a consequences of the war, and I then just said in response to that, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, that would be a little bit insensitive and a little bit questionable. That's not what's happening here, though.
Yeah. So, Double A, this would be like you whining about us making fun of you in this live stream, right? And you could whine later on and say, I can't believe they made fun of me. And the response could be, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Right?
Exactly.
Look, you're starting it, and you cry like a baby over the response, right?
Yeah. Precisely. And if I had the time and if I bothered enough, I could actually go back and show you the things that this person tweeted. But this is not just some random person. I can show you that here. This is somebody with 200,000 followers, who is a journalist and who has been tweeting all kinds of venom on here. So maybe think about the context of these things, or maybe you are aware of the context and you know that there is probably a deeper context here, but you don't even want to think about it because you just want to make a hit piece here. And after that, I'm supposed to have respect for you.
Of a woman's demolished home by saying, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. It is clear.
That's a very based tweet.
Clear what he is insinuating, that the Palestinian civilian is more deserving of homelessness and death than the Israeli. And
What?
That's exactly what he's saying.
What?
How did this dude? Hey, Apostate Aladdin. Let me go ahead and say it here. Dead serious. You need to go back to kindergarten and start over, because the education system has clearly failed you. You are completely incapable of understanding anything anyone says, and therefore start over. Focus on comprehension. You don't need math. You don't need math. You don't need science. You don't need any of that. Just go back to kindergarten, start over, and focus on comprehension. Both listening and reading, they're related. Try to learn how to interpret anything anyone is saying. It will help you stop embarrassing yourself like this.
Wow, man. Wow.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. It is clear what he is insinuating, that the Palestinian civilian
It's clear that he's calling for genocide against all Muslims because he hates them and he wants every last one of them to die.
Aladdin,
and death than the Israeli. In this tweet,
Aladdin, I'm not even asking you to do this publicly, but maybe just to test yourself and to test the things that you're saying here, in private, sit down, start from this conclusion that you make here, which is that I insinuate that Palestinian civilians are more deserving of death and losing their homes than Israeli civilians. Start with that conclusion. Take a paper, a blank paper, or just open a document. I don't know, and then try to figure out, based on which pieces of evidence you came to the conclusion that this is clearly what I am trying to say. Please do that. Do that for yourself, right? Do that for yourself to check if the conclusion that you came to is actually justified, reasonable, or not. If you still come to the same conclusion, then you're stupid or you have a problem. I don't know. But try it. Try it out. It's a good test.
Palestinian civilian is more deserving of homelessness and death than the Israeli. In this tweet, he says that he never claims there are no innocent Palestinians, while in this one, he thinks that the destruction of Gaza is the consequences of your own actions. Who is this collective you that he...
The collective you, I have never claimed that there are no innocent Palestinians and that there is nothing wrong with killing them. If you claim I did, show me where. You people justify the killing of Israelis. And then when a picture is posted, or when a video is posted of Gaza being destroyed in a war, and I say we call this the consequences of your own actions, then I am saying there that there are no innocent Palestinian civilians and that there is nothing wrong with killing them. That's not what I'm saying when I say that this is the consequences of your own actions.
Saying your side started it, and these are the consequences for the things you did.
Yes.
If you're I mean, my goodness, it's like, pick another suppose a German complaining, the British, they're bombing Germany, like during World War II. What's going on here? We'd say that's the consequences of your actions. If apostate genius here were sitting here listening to this, they go, oh, so you're saying every single German was completely guilty and is the same as Hitler? It's like, what level of idiot do you have to be to interpret people's words like that? Like, seriously, if someone said, if Germans complained and said, look, the British are bombing us, and someone said, yeah, that's the consequences of your actions, how, in the name of common sense, would you interpret that as every single German is basically Hitler and deserves what he gets? How? Like, how? Dude, give up. If you can't interpret other people's words, stop criticizing what people say, because has he interpreted anything that you said accurately so far? Like one thing?
Not so far.
You're
Not so
batting
far.
zero, dude. You're batting zero. Maybe you just suck at this. Maybe you just suck at this. And I still like when ex-Muslims, talk and like deal with Islam and so on and have a community. But you may be completely incompetent at this. And so you should probably do something else with your life, because you suck at this. You suck at YouTube. You can't understand what people say, which means that you're going to have a serious problem ever speaking accurately. Dude, give it up.
If you are really concerned about representing ex-Muslims in a good way or correctly, I would say you should stop doing this, because you are giving those ex-Muslims that you're trying to represent a bad reputation by being by having extremely poor logic and being very stupid in interpreting very, very simple things, and thereby you are basically dragging down into the dirt the reputation of ex-Muslims, if that's what you're caring about so much. So please don't do that. I still maintain that I agree with the idea that there are no innocent Palestinians and that there is nothing wrong with killing them. And I also think that the destruction of Gaza, which we are experiencing right now, is the direct consequence of their own actions. These statements are not contradictory in any way.
He claimed he recognizes not a collective. And mind you, a lot of these are tweeted on the same day. The fact that he can code switch so quickly is unsettling. When asked about his thoughts on Israeli settlements in Palestinian land, which continue to expand to this very day, he said this.
What do I think of the Israeli settlements in the West Bank? I think lots of them are completely justified. Some of them might be too aggressive, others not. Consider, for example, you know what the funny thing is? When I start with that response, I already feel how triggering that is when I respond to something like this with that, because settlements is a very sensitive topic that people have a big problem with. So when my initial response, before I even explain it further, say some of them are completely justified, that's just like, so could you say this? And he is one of the people who gets stuck on that and doesn't go further. The whole Hebron, like there's a settlement effort toward Hebron and around Hebron. Hebron was a Jewish city for millennia, for thousands of years, for centuries before the 19th. Hey, look at that! He's not even subscribed to my channel because.
Ooh.
That's it. That's it. AA. I can tolerate everything. I can tolerate you attacking me. I can tolerate you criticizing me. I can tolerate every single thing. I can tolerate you being a completely boring loser and all of those things. You know what I cannot tolerate? AA? You not being subscribed to my channel. I hereby remove you from my featured channels list.
Whoa. And that was probably his only source of views.
Yeah. How dare you not subscribe to my channel? How dare you?
Bye-bye.
How dare you?
And now you go down in history as a total loser, a total boring, lying loser.
Yeah. See?
Wow.
How dare you? How dare you? See? Now here it is. Now you can see my featured channels list. There's Rebecca. There's David, Nuria Khan, Sal, Neville Noodle, Harris Sultan, all the others. Even Farid is here, but you are not.
Hey, we'll wait for his next video.
They hurt my feelings so bad that I decided to go back to Islam. That'll show them. I'm gonna go join Ali Dawa now because they hurt my feelings.
Wow.
In 1929, the Arab population in Hebron forced the Jewish population to flee Hebron. They killed lots of people, kicked out the rest, and they had to be removed, evacuated. Some of them came back later, and they were finally completely evacuated in the late 30s. And now there are efforts by the Jewish population to get back there. Do I think that is not justified? I think that's completely justified. And the way that the other side acts,
Notice his.
You know what's the craziest part about all this is this dude probably watched like 80 hours of our live streams to come up with this stuff for his fans to show how bad we are. This guy,
oh, here's another clip. Let me download this 4-hour live stream, and here's yeah, this will really resonate with people.
I feel bad. I feel bad about what I have just done. So I'm gonna add him back.
Okay, good. Yeah, because that was truly heartbreaking.
Okay, I added you back, Apostate Aladdin. You are now again on my featured channels list. I hope you're not too sad about this. Everything is okay between us.
That's called an olive branch.
Yeah. DR, do you know what I like about David Wood? No, I was asking you. I couldn't think of a single thing either. Wow.
The correct answer is you like me for the melodious sound of my voice, DR.
That's beast. Ari Osman, I condemn Dizzle for wearing ugly yarn gloves while mocking Sharia America in 2012. Take that. Huh.
That was not by choice. I was reading a memorandum from the U.S. government saying that the Quran must be treated with gloves at all times.
Jesse said AP Tree of Logic's YouTube video proved 5 years ago Candace is a fraud. May your mercy, grace, and empathy envelope your heart as I beg for forgiveness for ever doubting your wisdom. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I recognize this, and I forgive you, Jesse. Tree of Logic is a very enjoyable, very funny YouTuber. Tree of Logic. She does some good stuff. Wait, what is her actual channel called? That
You say she?
Tree of Logic is a she. Yeah, that's a person.
Wait, you said it's funny and it's logical?
You see what we're dealing with.
That was
here?
for you, Apostate Aladdin. Cry about that now. What?
You see the misogyny, the hate for women that we're dealing with.
Entire video. The dark side of misogyny on YouTube.
You see the misogyny that we're dealing with here. No, Tree of Logic also has a channel, Treehouse News, and has some funny and good takes on things. I follow her channel. She's good. Yeah, shout out. Goat Hub said, since you skipped my last super chat, no job for you. Oh no. Mortal Wombat gifted 5 memberships. Fantastic. That's very based of Mortal Wombat helping me to expand the cult here. DR, kidding aside, I know 6 different Davids. I won't say which one is my favorite, but David Wood, you just missed out on my top 5.
Oh, darn.
Terrible. I should file a lawsuit on that.
His use of language.
I'm gonna lose minutes of sleep over that.
Inshallah. I hope so. Inshallah. Oh, okay. My wife just posted the reel. Oh, she's live right now. So Just 3411 is her other channel where she does live streams. And she's funny, and she's currently mocking just pearly things.
Pretty rude.
I want to turn it on just to have a quick peek, but I'm scared of her.
From Twitter X, I get money from Kick.
Her humor, but here she is. She's funny. Would always recommend watching for entertainment.
Thinks Jewish population expanding into Palestinian land is justified, albeit too aggressive at times. And simultaneously, His opinion on Palestinian territories is that they're destitute out of their own fault, the same territories that he supports illegal Jewish settlements creeping into.
While on the other side, we have two territories that contribute nothing to the world.
Well, he's
and
going
the
old school now.
contributions to
He's
the
going
world.
old school now. That's like
You
you
can't even
5 years ago.
I don't understand anything that he just said, and I'm honestly don't really care. So,
Contributed nothing to the world and live on donations from the world. Territories where you can't even produce anything of cultural or commercial significance because you have to be busy complaining and protesting all the time. Freedoms, punishing your own people.
Even
Hi, this is the apostate prophet.
that sounds like me. Yeah. That
if
sounds
he
like me.
strongly believes that Israel truly had no choice but to kill tens of thousands of people, he can still do a better job at empathizing with the victims. He can still criticize Israel and the IDF instead of unapologetically singing their praises every chance he gets. If he recognizes that innocent people are dying every day, according to his own admission, how could he go to Israel and pose with a military vehicle like it's some sort of fucking field trip?
Oh no! Oh no! How
Hey,
could we
and-
pose
and
with a
wh-
military vehicle?
And by the way, where were we, AP?
We
and,
were
and,
in.
and what happened literally seconds before we went over here?
We were in Kibbutz Kisufim, which is a community that is 5 minutes from Gaza, one of the first civilian towns, communities that were brutally attacked by Hamas on that day, with massacres, homes burned down, people tortured, taken as captives into Gaza, with kids' rooms that have bullets and bullet holes in them, and so on. This is the place that we were exploring. There was a military vehicle in there, and we were taking photos of us posing with the military vehicle while we were hearing loud explosions of bombs right over at Gaza. And a woman who survived the massacre was explaining to us the horror that she went through, where her husband got killed trying to protect the entire community. This is where we were, and this is where we posed with a military Hummer, which was a good move. It was the perfect move. I'm proud of it,
Perfect move.
and we are proud of that.
We're proud of that.
Anything to add, David?
Yeah, you give me 100 opportunities in that same situation, 100 times out of 100 times, we are going to pose in front of that Humvee. So cry us a river again, Apostate Aladdin.
We're proud of that.
Yeah, and also
Get the hell out of here!
yes.
go to Israel and pose with a military vehicle like it's some sort of fucking field trip.
We're
The
proud
glee
of
that
that.
these two have while discussing heavy topics is truly disturbing. The way they flippantly joke
They're
about rape and
psychopaths.
child molestation, the way they throw these words around and laugh in the same sentence, the way they desensitize the audience to these words. I don't think they actually care all that much about the victims.
Make it a rule to wow, man. This is okay, the patheticness of the issue aside, the whole pathetic aspect of the issue aside, the fact that he actually concludes that because we joke about these things, we don't actually care about the suffering. That is just slimy, filthy, dirty, stupid, and also shows, by the way, that he doesn't really understand humans and society in general.
Yeah. Let me break it down for you, Apostate Aladdin, although you probably still won't understand it because you have the brain of a donkey, apparently. Let me break this down. You have the Quran and the Hadith promoting and defending, advocating child marriage. You had people lie about it for a while, and you had lots of Muslims who didn't even know about it. But now you have lots of prominent da'is defending and promoting it, making people believe that it's a good thing, actually saying that this is a solution for the ills of society. Just start banging little kids. Why do we make fun of it flippantly? We're trying to make people mock that entire position. We are trying to make the people who defend child marriage a laughing stock. That's what we want. That's what we want to happen. And guess what? They should be a laughing stock. You should be mocked and ridiculed. People should be laughing at you and mocking you viciously if you're out there promoting child marriage. What are you doing? Are you gonna make a video?
I definitely don't want to offend everyone. I'm giving several warnings here, but yeah, don't support child marriage. Okay, now on to attacking the apostate prophet for actually making fun of the people who support child marriage. Come on, dude.
As I sat down yesterday after I drank my bottle of milk, I looked through
With
apostate
a chaser of estrogen.
I watched apostate prophets.
So
live
soy
stream
milk, by the way, everyone. It's soy
in
milk,
which
not cow milk. I do not choose the cow. I never have. I never will. I always choose the soybean.
okay, but why do you sound kind of like Trump while doing that? I don't understand. Uh,
Always choose soy.
the best soy,
Wrong.
best soy out
Best
there.
soy. People always tell me, "Hey, you got the best soy." I say, "Yes, I'm the apostate Aladdin."
Wait a minute. I was gonna say something. I forgot what to say. Damn, I forgot what to say.
Wow. Must have been important.
Anyway,
Let's see.
whenever we mention Hamas, to refer to them as racist, terrorist Hamas rats. So that would be interesting to do that.
It's got. You need something that flows a little better.
Okay, fine.
So you got to put it together like child during rape. Say Muhammad, right? You got to, it's got to.
Did he bleep out? Did he bleep that out?
I know we get everyone saying it.
I can't allow anyone to hear those words on my video. It might be offensive.
That's like gay pee. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's too cheap.
And if they do care about
This is his example. Are you kidding me, man?
the
Wow,
victims,
man.
scoring points
Oh
and
my
making
goodness.
jokes seem to take precedence. I don't think a lot of victims feel relief when they watch two grown
Apostate Aladdin, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something here. David Wood and I, we might, if there is one criticism that you can express, it might be that we sometimes have a sick sense of humor.
That's true.
And I have to say, when I encounter people that have a sick sense of humor, I actually like those people that have a sick sense of humor because it feels relatable and it feels very enjoyable. And it feels like, hey, if you can actually joke about dark, messed up things instead of going, oh no, we shouldn't laugh about this. Oh no, this is so bad. I feel like that is stupid. That is not very, very good. It doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help with anything. It only makes you weaker than you probably should be if you are talking about the realities that are out there in the world. When we talk about the terrorists, when we talk about rapists, murderers, and all that, when we talk about these people, and we talk about the massacres that they have committed, if you are too afraid, if you are too sensitive to talk about it, and if you think joking about it could could be harmful or could be bad, I'm sorry, then you are simply not ready to talk about it. I
Yeah.
joke about things that I joke about my own death. I was sick at some point. I remember I was in Turkey, and I showed up to work after an extremely sick day when I felt like when I was vomiting all over the place and wanting to die. And the secretary asked me, "Why are you back to work?" And I said, "Oh, I wasn't sick enough. I just came back to get worse. Maybe I will die in my own vomit here while at work." And she was like, "How can you say that?" And I just started cracking up at my own stupid wish for my own brutal and sick death, because that's what I do, because I enjoy it. Does that mean I think dying in your own vomit is good? No. I just cope with it.
So clearly David Wood, the psychopath, must have traveled back in time in a car made of fueled by 1.21 gigawatts of Islamophobia and convinced AP to make that joke about his own death.
Yes. And here is the more important thing to point out, AA. When we sit here and we talk about the child molesters, and we talk about the rapists and the terrorists and the Islamists and all of that, and we do so mockingly and jokingly, we actually, and I'm happy and proud of that, relay the information about these sicknesses and these sick people to a lot of other people in a significantly more effective way, and we don't desensitize and don't make it acceptable to to people who are listening and to who are watching. On the contrary, we inform people about this and at least try to equip people to counter these sicknesses while also mocking these sick people and belittling them as much as possible. And do you know what? It works. Do you know
Yep.
what does not work? The way that you seem to handle things. You are
Yeah,
not
hitting
informing
hitting
anybody.
everything with kids' gloves.
Yeah.
If I just hit all these things with my purse, that'll really change the world.
Yeah, you make an important point that we're not just mocking it. I mean, who are the guys? Who are the guys who are debating this stuff, right? Who are the guys that are sitting there actually going systematically through the sources, exposing these things? Who are the people who are interacting with the Dawa guys? And when they offer their responses for this stuff, who are the people who are actually going through that and systematically undermining every defense of these positions? That's us. And what is apostate Aladdin sitting here doing? Whining because he thinks he deserves the attention.
Stupid.
Pretty pathetic.
Let's take a drink. Okay. All right, let's continue.
On men acting like edgy teenagers and using their suffering as a gotcha, as a way to score points.
Well, I don't understand. Is it an edgy teenager thing, or is it too sensitive? I don't really get it. T-Boydro said AA has live streams to intentionally create conversations that are interfaith, yet he condemns your interfaith friendship. What? Well.
Shame on him. How dare you?
How dare he have conversations? How dare he have interfaith conversations? Sir Dr. Whitemeat says, AA strengthened my iman. AP, peace be upon him, and David would trigger me. Carson Depp, do you like halwa? It was Ashkenazi Jews that introduced that traditional Middle Eastern confection to us. Pistachio is my favorite halwa. I actually do. It is a bit addictive, though. Very dangerous. I haven't had it in a long time. KZ says, starting a support group for everyone who has been hurt by AP's
that's what Double A should do. He needs to be starting a support group.
Yeah.
For all the victims of AP's hurtful rhetoric.
He needs to start AA's AA for all those who were hurt by AP. AA's AA for those hurt by AP. That's good. That's good. Sadie Flint made a super chat. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. AS Vox said, I like Aladdin. Unsubscriptions be upon him until he started spewing. Full woke, politically correct personality, devoid retardedness. You can't say that word. Just think about all those people. Zayn said, I have seen the light thanks to AA new memberships coming in. Human Kirk, member of both channels. I already read this. Sarah says AP might be cringe with a cringier mustache. But he's a great type man for David Wood and funny super chic. There's also the eyes of the strap of the anus. If AA wants to highlight this in his next diary, he will probably put this down. He's making notes of all the offensive super chats here. AF Iron says, does AA have any clue how many Muslims this dynamic duo Ace and Gary team has led out of Islam? Alhamdulillah.
But what matters is not how many people are actually impacted. What matters are my feelings and how much attention I get.
Yeah. AA's AAA.
It's against the opposition. I'll go even further to accuse them of enjoying suffering as long as it's righteously deserved.
We enjoy suffering.
He says to an Israeli woman how he really feels about the war.
But we're talking to an Israeli there, like regular Israeli waitress, and she goes, "So what do you guys think about the conflict?" And I say what I always say. I say, "Well, I think Israel should be much harsher." And do you know what she says? An Israeli person, an average, regular, young Israeli person. What she says to me is, "Well, I don't know. I think." Why does he feel the need to put the fast forward symbol up here on the screen? Because it's slightly fast forwarded. This. Anyway, I think that we did a lot of wrong against the Arab population, and I think that of course they have a reason to fight, and we should acknowledge that. And she just goes down that path, and I'm thinking, what in the world is this?
And she also said that she goes every single week to protest against Israeli settlements in the West Bank.
Yeah.
So yeah, she said she's at the protests every week, and yeah, so
Okay.
we're
Okay.
just giving her some info on how to follow our discussions.
I tried not to argue too much. I just said, you should check out this video and this video. Like it will inform you on this matter.
So after raising more than enough money for an all expenses paid trip to Israel to, as he puts it, have a closer look at what has been happening over there.
By the way, thank you for everyone for chipping in.
Thanks, everyone. That was very, very good, very helpful, very, very good. Made a lot of things possible.
We stayed in some dope cribs while we were there.
No, we did not. What are you talking about? We stayed in like the trashiest place. In
No,
Jerusalem.
we did. We had some tricked out places in Jerusalem and Tel Aviv, like bosses.
Yeah.
We had a giant 3-bedroom place in Tel Aviv, man.
That wasn't really
Whole
fancy.
apartment.
It was
whole
good.
apartment.
It was good. We could have gone
Overlooking the ocean. How's that make you feel, Apostate, Aladdin?
Oh, that's true. That's true. We spent all the money.
Paid for by people who like us. Why? Because there are people who like us.
Oh yeah.
We can tell you how that feels one day.
We lived like kings in Israel. Apostate Aladdin. With all the money.
For being
eating in the dopest restaurants. What was that stuff we were chowing down on? Tuna, whatever that stuff was. Tuna.
Eating the best shawarma every day.
We were crushing the shawarma, man. Oh my goodness.
Proceed.
In a Muslim restaurant, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
That's how shameless we are.
Because Muslims love us.
Yes.
Educate her on how it's really all about Islam and how Israel can do no wrong. Instead of using that opportunity to learn more about what's happening.
No, that was not the takeaway. He has not interpreted one single thing correctly
Doesn't
at all.
understand a single thing. And I'm not sure if he's just incapable or unwilling at this point. I'm still being too charitable. I don't know.
And I should go ahead. I should go ahead and point out. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I pointed out that we stay focused on what is necessary to end this cycle of violence and so on. So I'm not a fan of the settlements and so on. I understand people saying, you know what, I give up on the idea of two-state solution. We've offered it over and over and over again. All they ever do is say no and then try to say they need all of the land for themselves. I understand people saying, you know what, let's just keep taking a little extra spots here to expand, because that makes it harder for jihadis to get to us. So I understand all that. But even in your mentality where you're like, we should just go in there and crush them and take all that stuff too, your perspective would be like, you just need to quit playing with these guys and stop putting up with this forever and just get it over with and get it out of the way, right?
Yeah. Sebastian Nichols said AP and David would literally want Israel to conquer the entire world and subjugate everyone. Yeah. That is my ultimate wish, that Israel conquers the entire world and forces everyone to become loyal subjects of the Zionists. And
yes. And I want all of us just standing there being spit upon.
Yes, exactly. Alhamdulillah. Yes.
So what she thinks, he dismisses her and hopes that she learns from him and adopts his view. Who needs empathy and understanding and nuance and a local's lived experience when you got these two pompous American heroes to tell you the real truth? That doesn't seem to me like a fact-finding mission or a journalistic investigation, but a propaganda.
No, notice what you were saying is, so she's saying she goes out and protests and so on. None of this has anything to do with Islam, and shame on Israel because they're the ones provoking everything. And you're pointing out, hey, this actually has something to do with Islam being obsessed with Jews, and the goal ultimately being to slaughter Jews. So you're pointing out, hey, this actually had, contrary to what you believe, ma'am, this actually has something to do with the religion, and you should be aware of it. And I'm gonna tell you how you can become aware of it so that you can actually make an informed decision about that. And according to Apostate Aladdin, it's the worst thing in the world for people to understand that this has something to do with Islam.
Yeah.
You heard it here, folks.
No, I heard the lady speak, and I said, "Now, hold on right there, ma'am.
By the
Let me
way,
tell you the truth."
side note, thanks to the people who supported our trip, did I not blow her mind? Did we not blow her mind with the tip we gave her? Yes, we did. So,
Oh, we
in your
did.
face, in your
Absolutely.
face. Hey, Aladdin, how
Absolutely
much
did.
did you tip that lady? Nothing. Oh,
Absolutely did. David, you know for a fact that for some reason I just gave everyone their huge tips wherever we went. Just because we felt like people helped and we want to help others through the help that people helped us with.
I think I even
And
I think I even quoted Jesus to you at one point. Said, "Freely you have received, freely give."
yes, 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 yes. There was even a funny thing where there was this very small place that we ate shawarma at, and it was like it was a very humble place by some old Jewish men. And one day we picked up our food there, and I then basically gave the guy like 200 when it cost like 140 something. And I just told him to keep it, and he was like, "No, no, no, no." I said, "Yeah, keep it, just keep it, man," and just walked away. And I did this because I have no empathy, no sympathy,
Heartless,
no compassion,
evil.
and no heart, and because I actually enjoy suffering.
That was basically genocide.
Yeah, and I don't feel bad about it at all.
Around the token ex-Muslim and showing him how great Israel is. They went there with their narratives already set, and they had no intention of ever changing them. This is a good reminder that being an expert in one thing does not make you an expert on everything. I'm sure David and Radwan can cite verses and hadiths all day, but that doesn't make them experts on geopolitics and war. There's no denying that a lot of Muslims are anti-Semitic, or even
I don't even understand how that has to do with anything. It's just
that
stupid.
Islamic scripture itself is anti-Semitic. But there's more to it than religion and anti-Semitism. He excuses
It's Semitic, not Semitic. By the way.
and justifies Israeli transgression and pretends they have nothing to do with the conflict whatsoever.
What I think of the Israeli settlements in the West Bank, I think lots of them are completely justified. Some of them might be too aggressive.
And the fact that he wishes Israel would be much harsher,
And I say what I always say. I say, well, I think Israel should be much harsher.
what does that even mean, really? Harsher as in more bombs, more aid restriction? The Palestinian death toll that he insists is overinflated.
Yeah, what I obviously mean when I say harsher is that everyone should be killed on all sides.
You heard it here, folks. You heard
On
it
both
here.
sides.
He just admitted it.
Yeah. Well, when I say Israel should be much harsher, what I mean is that they should nuke the entire world and kill everyone on the planet. Obviously. How is that not easy to understand?
You
Is
heard
it
it
still
here.
too small for his liking? How harsh should Israel be so that this man can be satisfied thousands of miles away from the comfort and safety of his own home? Mind you, this is just some of the stuff that was pointed out to me by AP's own subscribers or previous subscribers at this point. I'm sure that if I went
Previous,
through his
yeah.
tone up,
You're losing subscribers, AP. And they're going over to Apostate.
Stop it.
a lot more alarming rhetoric. Here's one last tweet that I think is worth mentioning. It's about a man called Aaron Bushnell who set
Oh,
himself
I went into this already. This is just incredibly stupid.
on fire in protest of Israel's actions. I'm
Yeah,
not
we
going to
already
go
went
into
through that,
who he is or why he did what he did. For the purposes of this video, it's frankly irrelevant. I just want to highlight how AP said that this man hated whiteness and hated tradition.
See, I kind of fleetingly listened to this whole thing while I was like, I was preparing to take my kids to school and all that, and was listening to this video, and then I landed at this point, and after hearing this part, which I already played earlier, at this part I just thought, wow, man, this guy is either entirely stupid or just completely malicious here. I don't see any other way, and there's no way that I can have any respect after this part here. It's just so incredibly stupid and vile.
By the way,
him.
Mrs. Apostate has a pretty fire tweet. Pretty fire comment there about that.
Which one is it?
Mrs. Apostate.
This one. Do you mean this one? This is very, very insensitive.
Yeah, again, Apostate Aladdin. Whatever else happens, you can't let that become a cool thing, which is what happens when, oh, what a great noble man setting himself on fire. You're encouraging other people to do that. No, it sucks. I do believe that guy probably had some mental problems, but that you can't let that become a cool thing to do. So, yeah.
That was a burn.
Mentioning. It's about a man called Aaron Bushnell who set himself on fire in protest of Israel's actions. I'm not going to get into who he is or why he did what he did. For the purposes of this video, it's frankly irrelevant. I just want to highlight how AP said that this man hated whiteness.
The guy did this because he was getting very heated about the whole intense and hot conflict that is currently going on. So that totally got him fired up. So he decided to protest it in a very drastic way. And
Burn.
burn, burn, burn. It was a fire event.
And hated tradition. Apostate Prophet is a man of Turkish origin. How is whiteness and tradition relevant to him or the point he's trying to make? Who is he really addressing here?
Wait, look, he even brought up the point he's trying to make.
Are under attack.
When I mean, unless he's dumber than we think, the point you were trying to make in your tweet is actually perfectly clear. Like you'd have to be an idiot not to understand the point. I had to see your point. I had to see your tweet, your actual tweet, not the one he cropped. I had to see your actual tweet for half a second to get your point. This guy's actually making video responses to it, but he didn't get it. Oh boy.
For those who didn't see it earlier, he's talking about this tweet. This is the full tweet. It's very simple. This idiot Aaron Bushnell, who burned himself to death, justified the Nova Music Festival massacre, hated whiteness, hated tradition, and supported anarchy. Yet he is praised by progressives, neo-Nazis, Islamists, bunch of opportunistic leeches with no integrity. Isn't it quite obvious here? Isn't it quite obvious here that I am specifically listing these things because they are in contrast with what these people believe in, and yet these people praise him as a hero? Isn't that quite obvious?
Yep.
Isn't it so clear?
Yep.
And yet this guy is dropping that and misinterpreting it deliberately and saying, why does AP care about whiteness and tradition? Is it to appeal to white nationalist Christians?
Yeah, that was it. That is, if I didn't hear the entire rest of this video, if all I saw was that, terrible excuse of a human being here.
Yep.
And he's sitting there complaining about how terrible we are because they make fun of stuff. Shame on them. All I do is lie.
Can you hypothesize who he could possibly be dog whistling here? I'll give you a hint. They tend
stupid people
to donate generously in
It's all
church.
about winning
other
Trump
causes
fans.
they perceive to be holy, like, for example, Christianity's fight against the evils of Islam. The people that David Wood and Apostate Prophet fearmonger.
To be honest, at this point, I also have to say, just the fact that he thinks the people who watch my channel or the people who are generally against Islam are people who are both religious and go to church and donate, and same people, by the way, white nationalists who take whiteness very seriously. He thinks that this is a reality. It just makes me think this guy has no idea about society, has no idea about the real world out there.
I don't think he knows anything about anything. I mean, we're 20 minutes into this video. What has he said that has been accurate? What actual valid point has he made? How stupid do his followers have to be if they're eating this up? Oh, what a great point. Oh, so brilliant. I mean, this is on the level. This is like Fareed level dumb. And he's an atheist.
Oh no, look at all those people. You know, all those people who go to church every day and who donate and who are white nationalists.
He's dog whistling them with his tweet.
Are you learning this from cartoons? Are you following some leftist Twitter accounts and their depiction of society? Because this is not reality, dude. And you shouldn't be, if this is how you think society is, you shouldn't be making YouTube videos because you're obviously not teaching anything because you don't know anything.
I think the real reason he's wearing that mask is not to protect himself against jihadis, but to protect himself against anyone who recognizes him and says, hey, you're that idiot who can't understand words.
I don't know. Lillian Rose says, hey, apostate porn stash. Oh man. It's been a long time since we've seen the Farfour dance. I propose we do it once a month and make these FFs do a dance off. That's true. It was this dance to be specific. Yeah.
Powerful dance.
Apostate porn stash. That should be my new name. Yeah, that's good.
Apostate porn stash. Yeah. You could rock that.
Elena says, add me to your Zane added me to your cult, AP. Is there an initiation ritual? Should I be scared? I will send you a secret coded email or message with all the details for the upcoming initiation ritual for all new cult members. Watch for it and be prepared. Script called gifted 5 more memberships. Fantastic. The cult is growing, and soon we will do great things. Script Gulp said, love you guys. Glad I was able to catch another live stream. Good job, men. Keep up the good work. Love you, boys. You see, why does it say good job, men? This obviously shows the white nationalist right-wing misogyny right here. Thank you. I appreciate it very, very much. Nevertheless, why do Jallas want Israel gone yet support Pakistan? Because they are stupid. NNN says anti-Islam is the natural response from people with the average or above IQs. There is no usefulness of the video. What a waste of everyone's time. Well, yeah, but I still want to go through it. Okay.
Or two about the dangers of Islam creeping into their
Hey,
lives.
how long is this going to be?
Have never truly.
So you have to go?
I had to go like 40 minutes ago.
Oh, it's gonna take another hour to go through this. Okay, let me just jump through the super chats. This is not worth watching anyway. This is stupid.
It's pretty terrible.
Stupid. It is stupid. Stupid. Absolutely stupid.
Stupid.
You're finished already. Look at me. Look at me. You know you're done.
Yeah. And also.
Liar. You're a liar.
And.
Fireman. You're sick. You are sick.
Oh, then he's promoting his Discord channel. The guy has a Discord channel. Weird. Anyway. Okay. All right. Ryan Kim said, also I posted about Aladdin's video and came here immediately to thank you for supporting white nationalism. He's gonna take this seriously, man. It's hard for people like us nowadays.
Admitting it.
Here's my donation from the kindness of my heart.
Hey, he's gonna. Hey, apostate Aladdin. If you want to make a fire title, then title your next video 10 most shocking things apostate prophet admitted in his last live stream.
I'm serious. He will. At this point, I would think that even after we joke about this and laugh about it, he will still take this as evidence that I'm pandering to a white nationalist Christian audience.
And you know what's absolutely hilarious is he's such a narcissist, right? He obviously is not going to do well with criticism. He wants attention. We'll give him a little attention. That's fine. But he's going to be like, now I have to respond. Not realizing, dude, I mean, we deal with jihadis on a daily basis. Like, you think whining is, oh my goodness. What to do?
How it stands right now, whether he intended on it or not, AP has a bit of a monopoly in our voices. His reach and visibility as an apostate or an ex-Muslim far eclipses the channel.
You should change your channel name to Apostate Monopoly.
So this is the grievance here, that I am
He's actually complaining that you're popular.
That I am the most popular ex-Muslim.
And he's flipping out. He's flipping out on everything that you do that people obviously like and is the reason they watch you. So you need to change. Matter of fact, that seems to be what he's after. AP, you need to stop doing things the way you do them. You need to do things the way he does them, and then you won't be popular anymore. And then he won't feel bad. I guess that's the plan.
I'm not trying to be anyone's representative, and honestly, just dumb stuff like this is one of the many reasons why I don't feel that it's a great thing to have this whole ex-Muslim community stuff going on. Stop acting like Islam. Stop acting like Muslims. Stop having this whole we are a community. We need best representation. You're making us look
Yeah.
bad. I don't care. I don't care, man. I am me.
I like an ex-Muslim community, but the idea should be it's a community of people who are ex-Muslims. There is no oh, and now that we've left that, now everyone has to be the same thing, or we'll attack you, like we did when we used to be Muslims and we were obsessed with having everyone agree with us on everything.
Yeah. John Oren said, if Egyptians said they would kill all Jews in 1967 before the Six-Day War, do you think it would be considered genocide if the leaders didn't intend it? If the leaders didn't intend it before the Six-Day War, do you think it would be considered genocide if the leaders didn't intend it? No, if they didn't intend it, it wouldn't be genocide, right? Is that, I don't know if I'm understanding the question correctly.
Yeah, I didn't understand it.
But I would say no, because that is the standard by which, for example, the International Court of Justice is trying to pursue the current case, which is if there is genocidal intent, if there is no intent and it can't be established, then you can't accuse a side of genocide or can't convict them of that. By the way, Hamas's deliberation was very clearly genocide of Jews. They admitted so. Kay Hamilton, as a Christian, I like you rather you become Christian or not. You seem like a nice person. This guy doesn't seem to get it. No, it can't be. How dare you? How dare you agree with somebody who is not a Christian? Doshimaya, never forget that autism is a mental disorder, so that is why it is stupid to call someone without knowing diagnosis, because even sanest ones may have it. Yeah. I don't know. It's a sensitive topic that I just am careful with, and yeah. Apostate ASMR isolationist is a good guy, but he tries to sanitize his thoughts inside him a lot. He was trying to judge Indian ex-Muslim Sahil on his channel a lot too. I think he's just a pathetic, a little bit stupid, and
you can disagree with me on a lot of stuff, and I will be totally fine with it. If you're just a lying, whining, narcissistic douche, I'll tell you are.
Yeah. It's pathetic. It's pathetic.
It's really pathetic.
I wouldn't have. I said yesterday on Infidel Noodles channel, I said I don't want to make a response to him because I'm just going to be.
And yet here honest. We are. Oh my goodness!
I'm going to be honest, and it's not going to be pretty. It will be bad. And David just came here as he always does, since he always creates conflict and pushes us to do bad things. He basically literally forced me to respond to Apostate Aladdin's video, and now I said everything that I think, and it's not very pretty because Apostate Aladdin is a very dishonest guy, as I've seen so far. And in the face of such dishonesty and such attacks, I cannot maintain any respect or consideration for his poor feelings, for which he may now be traumatized. And yeah, that's all. Dan OC, Don OC 226 said, but I thought guns made people sleepy. David, you have to go, right?
Yeah.
Let me see if there's anything for you here. I second Lloyd de Jong, Immortal. Hi AP, can you stream sometime about 1971 terror in Bangladesh? Over 200,000 women were raped. I shall go through this. Donation from an ex-Muslim, white nationalist, Christian Zionist. I hope this pleases our Mossad masters. Thank you, White Lily.
Nuke everyone.
Shreep Golbe said, I think he was just burning to mention your name, AP. Oh boy.
Hey, here's one additional note. When people blast us for doing something, they don't understand. These guys don't understand personality types at all. We kind of want to do it more, right? When hey, you can't do that. You can't do that. I'll whine about you doing that. We both are the kind of people who like, oh, now I want to do it even more.
Yes.
And so you made a little remark about Burning Man there, and then this guy throws a tantrum over it, and then what happens? Happens more. So guess what, Apostate Aladdin? Your decisions led to this. Shame on you. Shame on you.
I have to say, I made a joke I think earlier today, or was it yesterday? I think it was
Shame on you.
yesterday. It was yesterday. I made a joke in response to his video. That was kind of like my initial reaction, but then I thought, you know what, the joke is a little bit too much.
That
So
was too
so I
much.
deleted.
I'm
so
a
I deleted it.
psychopath, and it was too much.
Did you see it?
Oh, I saw someone shared it because someone screenshotted it.
I thought it was a little bit too much, and
It
I have to
was.
admit,
It was.
sometimes I can say some brutal things, but the thing is, it's a very distasteful joke that is not supposed to hurt anybody. It's not supposed to harm anybody, and it doesn't harm anybody. Although, even I thought, okay, that's a little bit much here.
It harmed Apostate Aladdin.
An average person cannot handle this, and that is this one here. And I'm going to show it just for a purpose of integrity, and I will explain that I actually did feel bad about it and did take it down. Here is the joke that I made. I said, this guy thinks I shouldn't make jokes about the people dying in the conflict, but I haven't heard any complaints from the dead. So,
and look, you're laughing at your own evil, sick joke that is the product of atheism.
Am I laughing right now? I'm not laughing.
You were laughing like 10 seconds ago.
I made this joke.
You've got a grin on your face. You have a distinct grin right on your face. Notice there's no grin on this face.
I made this joke, and I initially laughed about it, but then I thought to myself, you know what? There are occasions where we make very, very dark and very sick jokes, and it's enjoyable. In this case, especially with somebody being such a crybaby about it and trying to pick everything, making this dark joke, and also, by the way, putting his face on there, I don't know, it might be a little bit too much, and people might take this the wrong way and not be able to handle it. The world is not ready for this. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to delete this now, because I think, yeah, this is a little bit too in bad taste. And I did actually admit to people who asked me, I said, yeah, it was in bad taste, and I deleted it because I take it back, you know. And that's it. Like, I get it. Sometimes it can be too much, but not even this is supposed to approve of death or killing or hurt anybody or anything like that. It is just a terrible and sick way of dealing with some realities in the world, no matter who is impacted by them, whether it is me or somebody else. That doesn't mean I'm the one who is actually going out and approving or making excuses for killing people or telling people that they should be more sensitive and considerate of the feelings of those who commit terrorist attacks or support terrorist attacks. That would be something that Apostate Aladdin here is doing. Yeah. All right. David, I don't think anyone is interested in you. There are no super chats for you.
Good.
Nobody cares about David. It looks like I'm scrolling through the super chats. There are 50 of them.
I don't even know why I show up. I don't even know why I show up.
Not a single one is about you. Not a single one mentions you. Oh yeah, one says, "Why is David Wood here? I don't like that guy." Other than that, there's yeah, no, there's nothing else here. I'll just quickly run through these super chats if you want to go. This is
all right. I'm gonna bolt, and we will be back on my channel tomorrow for Apostate Aladdin. If you want to make a response before then, we'd be happy to go through that again, because yeah, you want attention? We're happy to give you attention. Catch y'all later.
Okay, see ya.
Get the hell out of here!
I always do it too late, man, when he's already gone. It's like Apostate provocator. Okay. Drew Travers says, have you read how the lad of Mo adorned the Arsh of Allah? I'll send a source. Send it. Doshamayan says, yeah, I know people say it's like porn, but I kind of feel like it feels more than just that with the mustache. Doshamayan, never forget, every time you make fun, you make fun of people who involuntarily live in Chinese sanitariums in region bordered with Kazakhstan. Huh. That is a good point. I need to think about that further. Don OC says, atheist hangs out with Christian, proceeds to lose morality and empathy. Draw your own conclusions. Seriously. Big Rig 0485 said, I don't know why he's so upset. Allah is only making it seem like Israel is doing these things. That's true. Street Tuner might want to find out if he's underage. He's clueless about adult way of talking, humor, etc. Dark humor is also very much a Western thing. You know, it's not a very, very popular form of humor in other parts of the world, especially in the Middle East. People are too superstitious, too sensitive about things, and like even when I was in Turkey, I always had a sick sense of humor, and I would joke about death and disabilities and things like that. And I would often get reactions like, "Don't say that! Don't say that! Don't say that!" I'm like, and I would just laugh. The more people say "Don't say that," I would just laugh about it. Crusader General, I second Lloyd de Jong invite. He is a hardcore historian. P.S. I am not Lloyd de Jong. This is exactly what Lloyd de Jong would say. I don't believe you. Sankey, why are Muslims always whining about humanity? When did this become a thing? Mo didn't, but now it's always where's the humanity when they get beaten? Not all Muslims, only some. Doshe Mayan, Babel wasn't written in English. I was sure it was written in Swahili. It was actually written in Esperanto. Roddy Piper says, have you guys ever been attacked by a radical Muslim? No, radical Muslims would never attack anybody. Ari Wasserman said, AA's humorlessness must be rubbing off on Dizzle since he thought I was serious about his Quran gloves. Literally genocide. This is literally ethnic cleansing. Drew Traver says, had to miss most of Apologetics Con. Good. I heard it was very boring. Like, who goes on a Christian apologetics conference? Zagros says, AP, you guys are beating a dead horse now. I know. I think it's enough. This is turning into bullying. He probably got the message. Come on. Who? You mean this idiot here? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe you're right. Brian Smutti says, if it weren't for the dark humor, I wouldn't be able to watch. You guys are doing important work. And thank you to your wives as well. Stay strong. Inshallah. Alhamdulillah. Thank you. Appreciate it very, very much. Peace be upon me, said AP, like your new mustache style, looks like Turk's Karaday. I was atheist for a long time, studied philosophy, saw Jesus recently in my dream to David Wood. Look. I said there's nothing for David Wood, but I missed this one. And there must be some intervention divinely scripted behind me missing this and not bringing up to David Wood. I will look into this further. Doshe Mayan said he's on fire and she burns through the night at the speed of light. He's on fire with the heat of the beat right beneath her feet. He's on fire. Gonna get so much anger for all of this sick humor. Blue Moon says, sick of these fake humanitarian lecturing us about morals. Why the Palestinians are holding hostages? Are them rockets, but AP, David Wood are evil because they took a picture? Kindly remove the mask and shove it. Indeed. I have no sympathy and no consideration for the feelings of those who justify what the other side is doing. And I'm not sorry to say that, dear apostate dummy. Script Colby said we need to change his name to Aisha Niqab. Get the hell out of here, you liar. Indeed, yeah.
Get the hell out of here! Liar! You're a liar! You're a liar!
Siddharth Shekar said Indian Hindus stand with Israel. We have borne atrocities by Islam for centuries. Jews were never persecuted in India. I admire you both. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And solidarity to Israel, indeed. Ari Wasserman said, AA childishly dissing me, literally genocide. It is. He is guilty of genocide right now. Knox said, Destiny reacted to Hamas Piker's video about Israel with 2 pro-Hamas journalists. You should watch it. I shall. Maybe I can make a live stream about it this week. Because I need to make more live streams in which I try to appeal to white nationalist Christians. And this might be a good choice for that. Hassan's new insane October 7 take makes Destiny snap. I'll have a look at that. That's 2 hours long. What the hell? I'll have a look at it and I'll see what happens. All right. And with that, I will also Go and leave and ride into the night. Samuel Tawheed said, AP doesn't want to promote my channel. That's genocide. It is genocide. Michelle, you should really react to that. You're talking about Destiny 2? Huh. Destiny, best white nationalist, best white Christian nationalist? Yeah. Is it really that good? I'll check it out. Just to pander to Christian white nationalists, I'll check it out. AP is going to rest in a muddy spring. That's what I do every night. That's what I do every night. That's where I go, and I do that every night. Thanks, AP. Thanks, everyone. Thank you so much. All right. Now I will leave after having spent 3 hours or almost 4 hours talking about how to disrespect people and thereby causing irreversible trauma in all those who just tuned in. I must leave now. And I urge everyone to always be respectful. Always think about the feelings of those who listen in and the feelings of those who hate you and even the feelings of those who want to kill you. Always be respectful, lest you may stoop to their level and thereby also be just as bad as a rapist or a murderer by disrespecting the rapist or murderer. I must leave now. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And by the way, I have no idea. Sorry, that was a little bit crudely worded. I do not entirely understand why my videos are so much better, but people are watching someone else's videos instead. And this makes me very upset and very mad. And we need to talk about this. This is the dark side of anti-AP YouTube. LJ said, thank you, AP. See you tomorrow. Yes, you will see me, unless you don't want to be traumatized. Marcos Zamora is laughing. I don't know what there is to laugh here. This is a very serious conversation. And laughing about such a serious conversation diminishes the importance of it and desensitizes people toward mockery and all of that, which causes nothing but evil and suffering in the world. And at this point, I am convinced that you actually enjoy evil and suffering. Snowy Keep says, LOL. This looks like psychopathic behavior. Trauma bonding with AP says, Tia. At least she is. I cannot entirely tell if this is sarcastic or if this is serious, but I assume that this is serious, in which case I want to express my appreciation and my gratefulness to Tia. If this is a joke, I cannot understand it, but I would say this is very bad. Marina says, we love you, AP. I appreciate it. I appreciate the love, but how can you love somebody who is offensive? And thereby you are basically enabling the offensiveness. Mario Profite, thank you so much. Thanks everyone for listening. Mark says, you are a good person, AP. We love you. You see, hereby I have gained the sympathy of somebody and desensitized them toward bullying others. And this is very bad. Tahu 14, wow, AP just reading messages from white nationalists, SMH. Exactly. You see what this world has come to. This is the dark side of the dark side. The mustache is mustaching. Yes, I need to put glue on so it doesn't fall off. Just go, AP. See you, Tom. I can't go. I'm addicted to the stupid way of talking that I am performing right now. Amit Yanuka says, hey, just wake up. Good morning. Oh, yes, you are in Israel. That's true. Yes. Senor AP. Thank you for coming to our Mexican restaurant. Babylon to America. I will see. I will have a look. Good morning, AP, says Kenny Demeter. Tahu 14 said, you think all of this is a joke? Yes, of course it is a joke. What did you think? Free Palestine, says Days of Elijah. Yes, and free PlayStation. Free the mustache. Abandoned games. Saul Ricino said Muhammad is gay, thereby reinforcing homophobia and normalizing hate in this world that we live in. Laughing is haram, says Kidani the Alaskan. Laughing by talking about laughing, which is a very joyful reaction to things that we observe around us, as something that is haram. Are you aware that you may be alienating curious Muslims who have just tuned in and started watching this, it will now reinforce the idea that people are just trying to make fun of them and trying to depress them by telling them that laughing is a bad thing. This is unacceptable, and this makes me question everything. Infidel Noodle posted a skull, which, as far as I understand it, in the current trajectory of things, implies that she finds something funny. How can you find something like this funny and also use a skull, which only reminds people of death, which is no laughing matter? Do you not think about the trauma that you're causing by this? Gwyneth Isaac said, I guess we're all psychopaths now. We are, and always have been. Kenny DeMatter made a super chat of €6.66. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this and not thinking about all of the people who will be psychologically impacted by the numbers 666? No joking, not allowed. Indeed. Okay, laughing is genocide, said Pony Girl, which is the truest statement that I have read tonight. And you shouldn't laugh if you are against genocide. Joking is genocide, said Talmudic Tunnel Construction Inc. Thank you so much, Talmudic Tunnels, and keep building Talmudic tunnels in New York. Thanks everyone for listening in. Thank you everyone. Have a fantastic day. Slapstick Nick said, super apostate prophet brothers. Yes, it's me, Mario. Thanks everyone for watching and for listening and for contributing to this very peaceful and very nice conversation. And as always, stay away from Islam. Or let's just let this guy say it. He sounds almost like this.
Stay away from Islam.